We are here for the fourth session on Dhanurveda and Āyurveda, and this session is under Sri S. Ramachandra Iyer, T.V. Nagaraja Iyer, Srimati Bhagirathi AMMAL and Dr. S. JAYASREE Memorial Endowments. And the chairperson is Dr.L.Kumaraswamy sir, former professor and head of Department of Sanskrit, D.G.Vaishnav College, Chennai. I welcome you sir. I request Professor K. Srinivasan sir to honor our chairperson. Both of them are classmates from their school days. It's my pleasure, honor in introducing the endowment makers and the endowments and the chairperson. Sri S. Ramachandra Iyer endowment was instituted by his son, Sri R. Natarajan IAS, and Srimati Bhagirathi AMMAL was his mother. Sri R. Natarajan IAS has instituted in the name of his parents. These endowments are generally celebrated as the Mukakavi Day with a special lecture on the Mukakavi Day. And Dr. S. Jayasree was working as a librarian at the Kupaswamy Shastri Research Institute. She has published many papers, and Niti Dvishashtika of her dissertation was published by the Aarabhi.R library. Her book on eclipses in Hindu life and thought, published by KSRI, is a testimony to her deep interest in scientific literature in Sanskrit. She was instrumental in proper arrangement of the books in the library, KSRI library, into various sections. Unfortunately, she passed away, and this endowment was instituted by her husband Sri Hariharan. The KSRI holds lectures on scientific literature under this endowment every year. Dr. L. Kumaraswamy sir, the chairperson, has a strong foundation in Sanskrit from his school days. He had done his graduation in PG from RKM Vivekananda College, Mylapore. His Ph.D. thesis was on Arthantaranyasa Alankara in Sanskrit literature. He holds Shiromani degree also. He is proficient in Sahitya, Alankara and Vyakarana Shastras. He has worked in the Venkatramana Āyurveda College for some years, and hence has rich teaching experience in Āyurveda texts also. Later he moved to the D.G.Vaishnav College and retired as professor of Sanskrit department in the same college. He has translated a number of books from Tamil to Sanskrit and Sanskrit to Tamil and English. We are grateful for him for presiding the session on Dhanurveda and Āyurveda. Thank you sir. Over to you.
Namasabhai. The person who introduced me actually made some atishayokti, stating that I worked in the Venkatramana Ayurveda College, there is no doubt about it, for 5 years, but I didn't handle any Ayurveda text there. But one particular text I was compelled to handle, that was Padartha Vijnana. I don't know how many of you know about it. So that is entirely different. That is how our darshanas, what are the concepts that are assimilated in Ayurveda from our darshanas, our Shat darshanas. So that is the main idea behind that Padartha Vijnana. Okay, as there are so many papers to be presented here, I would like to call the names and go fast. So first let me call S.Gayathri, so who will be presenting the paper Disposition of Prameha. I think prameha is on sugar, diabetes, urinary, okay. Ayurvedeshu prameha madhumeha. Now madhumeha is diabetes, sthanam lakshanam cha. So very important topic, very current topic. So she will be presenting the topic. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. श्रूयते वा? नमस्सभायै सभापतिभ्यश्च। अद्य मम उपस्थापनांशस्य विषयोऽस्ति आयुर्वेदेषु प्रमेह मधुमेहानां लक्षणं स्थानं च, डिस्पोजिशन् आफ् डायबिटिस् इन् आयुर्वेदा इति। अहं जीववैज्ञानिकछात्रास्मि, यत् बायोटेक्नालजि इति ज्ञातं। मम शोधकार्यं तु जीववैज्ञानिकक्षेत्रे संस्कृतस्य वैशिष्ट्यम् इति। एतदुद्दिश्य मम प्रस्तुत शोधलक्ष्यमस्ति आयुर्वेदेषु विद्यमानविषयाणाम् आधुनिक वैज्ञानिकरीत्या शोधनं तेषां प्रमाणीकरणञ्च। अतः अद्यतनपत्रस्य विषयोऽयम् अस्य शोधकार्यम् उद्दिश्य एव भवति इति। अपि च आधुनिककाले मधुमेहस्य प्रभावः अतीव अस्ति इति कारणेन, मुख्यतया भारते इति कारणेन शीर्षकोऽयम् उद्धृतः। So moving on to the synopsis of today's presentation, we'll be talking about the Tridosha theory that lies as the fundamental of the Ayurvedic system of medicine, and there will be a comparison of diabetes in both traditional and modern medicine, and pathology, classification of prameha, madhumeha, and along with their treatment strategies. So moving on to the next. So here is an interpretation of diabetes in modern medicine. I'll just skim through the introduction so that to save some time. So diabetes is basically divided into two types, which is diabetes insipidus and diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus is again of type 1 and type 2 diabetes mellitus, the type 2 being the most commonly prevalent one. Next please. So based on the Tridosha theory of Ayurveda, there are three different doshas or humors known as Vata, Pitta and Kapha. So Vata is normally known as the king of all doshas, because in a given space it can always have a control over the other two. That is, Pitta and Kapha can be easily controlled by the predominance of Vata in a given space. So whenever all these three are going to be present in a balanced form, and obviously there is going to be homeostasis prevalent in the organism, and when there is going to be a slight imbalance in even one or more doshas, then that follows the disorders. This is the basic system of Ayurvedic medication. Next please. So talking about the prameha samanya lakshanam, the prameha, the word arises from the dhatu mih, which means miha sechane, which is just literally translated as the passage of excessive urine. So Madhava Nidhanam is a text that states samanyam lakshanam tesham prabhuta vilamutrata dosha dushya visheshepi tat sanyoga visheshatah mutra varnadi bhedena bhedo meheshu kalpyate. So this talks about the basic criteria by which we formulate the different types of prameha. And next slide please. So Sushruta Samhita, that shloka actually talks about the mechanism by how prameha occurs. So what is prameha? Prameha literally translates to urinary disorders. How does it occur? So as I've already discussed, when there is going to be an imbalanced prevalence of the three doshas, they normally mix with the bodily fluids, and instead of the fluids that has to be absorbed in the body, they are sent out in the form of urine, along with urine. So that is called as prameha. So to whom does prameha occur? Diva swapna avyayam alasya prasaktam shita snigdha madhura medya drava annapana sevinam purushan janiyat pramehi bhavishyati iti. So one who indulges in day sleep, laziness, and enjoys a sedentary lifestyle, indulges in the intake of sweet and cold fluids, and then intakes fatty meals, he'll be known as a pramehi. He's going to be the victim of prameha. Next please. So what is the relationship between prameha and madhumeha? Because prameha is totally, they are known as urinary disorders, or any diseases related to the urinary tract, they will be categorized under prameha. But what is madhumeha? Madhumeha is diabetes mellitus. So how are they actually connected? Sarva eva pramehastu kalena pratikarinaha madhumehatva mayanti tada asadhya bhavantihi. So according to this shloka from Sushruta Samhita, madhumeha is one type of prameha. But when any prameha is untreated and is present for a prolonged period of time in the body of a patient, then it eventually gets converted to madhumeha. So madhumeha also arises from the same mih dhatu, which means miha sechane, except for the difference that it refers to, it has a sweetish tinge of honey in urine. So this criteria for diagnosis of prameha is very interesting, because it says varnam rasam sparsham athapi gandham yathasva dosham bhajate prameha. So based on the taste, color, touch and smell of the urine, acharyas were able to brilliantly diagnose different types of doshas, and these the urine will also be having an imbalance of a specific dosha. That is how it was formulated. But in the current modern day world, we have laboratory protocols that make a urinalysis test to tell this all. But without all these interventions, they were able to do that day. So this shloka is from Charaka Chikitsa Sthanam. Next please. So moving on to the categorization of prameha types, which are 20 in number, they are subdivided into 3 other types called kaphaja prameha, pittaja prameha and vataja prameha, based on the predominance of that dosha. If there is going to be an imbalance of kapha, that will be called as kaphaja prameha and vice versa. And now madhumeha, which is of our special interest, that falls in the last category called vataja prameha. And as we have already discussed, vata is known as the king of humours, all doshas. So wherever vata is going to be predominantly present and is in an imbalanced form, that kind of dosha is going to be literally incurable. So that's where madhumeha falls, and madhumeha is actually known as kshaudra by Sushruta because of its severity. Next please. So here are the 20 types of prameha listed: Udaka, Ikshu, Sandra, Sandra Prasada, Shukla, Shukra, Shita, Sikhata, Shanair, Lalakshara, Kala, Neela, Lohita, Manjishta, Haridra, Vasa, Majja, Hasti and Madhumeha. These are the different types. Please next. So here we enter into a correlation of these prameha types mentioned in Ayurveda with that of their modern day counterparts. I am not going to discuss all the 20 types due to time, and please next. So Udakameha correlates with diabetes insipidus, which is marked by increased thirst and urination, and Ikshumeha or Ikshuvalikarasameha will be marked by urine which has excessive glucose in it, and that will literally be smelling like Ikshurasa. So this correlates with a temporary condition in modern science called elementary glucosuria, which is normally occurring to a patient when he takes a meal with a high carbohydrate levels. This is a temporary condition. It subsides on its own. So next. So talking about Shuklameha, as you can see the pictorial representation, this correlates with proteinuria in modern science. So whenever there is going to be elevated protein levels in urine, so you can see that there is going to be a frothy, the urine is going to be having a frothy layer on top of it, and that is marked by the excess protein. So that is called a Shuklameha. Next. Shukra is one of the body dhatus. So we have the Sapta dhatus in Ayurvedic system, and this refers to the reproductive element. So this is actually the presence of seminal fluid or sperm in the patient's urine, which makes it more cloudier in appearance. So this correlates with spermaturia, which occurs from retrograde ejaculation. What is this? So normally when the reproductive system secretes the semen or the seminal fluid, it has to be emitted out of the body. But here what happens, due to poor control of long-term diabetes, the muscles and weaks get so, they are not in proper control, they become so weak that the ejected seminal fluid is going to go back to the urinary bladder itself and then mix with the urine and then come out in the form of Shukrameha. Next please. So Sikata Meha correlates with crystalluria, which is nothing but the presence of kidney stones in urine. There are several causes, I am not going to discuss about them in detail now. Next please. So Kalameha correlates with alkaptonuria. This is very interesting because this alkaptonuria is one of the rare genetic disorders known to modern science, and this is otherwise called as the black urine disease. This blackish, you can see the blackish pigment deposited in the ear and eyeballs of the patients. This is because of the substance called homogentasic acid or alkapton, which is accumulated in the body, and then that is only causing Kalameha. So, this is a very extravagant metabolic pathway to analyze the presence of a rare genetic disorder, but which was very easily done those days. Next. So, Neelameha, I have here given the image of a cassowary bird. This is because Acharya Charaka mentions that Neelameha, in Neelameha, which is known as purple urine bag syndrome, is normally seen in patients who have been bedridden for a long period of time. You can see in their urine bag the presence of a substance called indoxil that is only giving the purplish or bluish color. In Charaka Samhita, Acharya Charaka mentions that this is equivalent to the color of the cassowary bird. So that is why I have mentioned the image. Next please. So Haridra Meha, at last we talk about the unusual darkish yellowish urine which is found in Haridra Meha. Again there are several reasons which may be due to an underlying kidney disease or liver infection or a UTI which is urinary tract infection. Next. So now coming to types of madhumeha, just like we saw the types of diabetes in modern medicine, in Ayurveda also we have got this. Like there can be two types, samanya and avritta madhumeha. As you can see there, madhumehe madhusaman jayate sakila dvidha, krudhe dhatukshaya dvayo doshavrita pathe tava. So samanya madhumeha is normally occurring due to the decrease in functioning of the bodily elements or the sapta dhatus. But an avritta madhumeha, which is more serious, there is an obstructive imbalance of the humus. So that is why it is occurring, and there is a separate chapter for description of Avritta Madhumeha in Ayurveda. Next. So talking about the consequences or manifestations of Madhumeha, there can be 18 types of Kshaya, which is like an emaciation. The Kiyanta Shirasi Yodhyaya of Charaka Sutra Sthanam depicts about this very clearly. And there can be 7 types of Pidaka. They say, Dashashtaucha Kshayaha Sapta Pidaka Madhumehikaha. So Acharya Charaka mentions there are only Sapta Pidakaha, but in Sushruta Samhita there is a representation of additional 3 types. So total 10. So Pidakas are nothing but, next. Pidakas are nothing but known as diabetic carbuncles. So they occur due to complications from long-term uncontrolled diabetes, and wherever there is going to be abundance of fat in the body, there they are going to occur. So in simple words, they are serious skin infections occurring to long-term diabetes. So I'm just going to read the names: Sharavika, Kachapi, Jalini, Sarshapi, Alaji, Vinata, Vidradi. Vidradi is again Bahya, Abhyantari, 2 types. Putrini, Masurika and Vidarika. Next please. So here is a pictorial depiction of this. Sharavika corresponds to diabetic foot syndrome, venous ulcers in foot. Kachapi refers to acanthosis nigricans, which is like blackish to brownish folds of skin tissue. Sarshapi, as the name suggests, are going to be minute boils which are representing mustard seeds in their shape and size. They contribute to folliculitis in modern science. Carbuncles are localized and are painful. Vinata correlates to necrobiosis lipoidica diabeticorum, and Masurika, as their name suggests, are resembling lentil seeds in their shape and size. Eruptive xanthomatosis is what we call them in modern science, and allergy is known as bullosis diabeticorum, which can be, next, which normally accompanies by a series of fever and thirst. So Pidaka Chikitsa is normally done by surgery, cleansing and healing. Next please. So Madhumeha Chikitsa, so there is a specialized chapter in Sushruta Samhita which is dedicated to talk about the treatment of diabetes. So I am just going to take 3 different substances mentioned there. One is Shilajatu, which is a gelatinous substance secreted by the mountains which get exposed to sun's rays in summer, and this is otherwise called as Shaddioni because of the presence of 6 different metals in them. And Tula measure, which is approximately 11.67 grams of Shilajatu, if taken in adequate doses, that will cure Madhumeha, enhances strength and longevity. And now next please. So there is the other substance is Makshika, which equals iron pyrite from river Tapi. So there are 2 types of Makshika, Swarna and Rajata Makshika. Both have different taste, and that is also known to be effective against Madhumeha, Jara, that is premature aging, skin diseases and emaciation, which is Kshaya. And then the patients of Madhumeha who consume both Shilajatu and Makshika are prohibited from intake of pigeon meat and horse gram. So next. So the last one is Tuvaraka plant, which is correlating to Hydnocarpus larifolia or the Chalmorga tree, that is native to Western Ghats. So this is known to be having an excellent wound healing property, and the whole plant has been proven scientifically to have a broad spectrum of activity on various ailments. Shodhayanti naram pitva majjanastasya matraya mahaviryas tuvarakaha kushtameha pahaf. So this shloka tells the capability of tuvaraka, and there are several phytochemicals present in this plant like hydnocorpic acid, chalmurgic acid, etc., etc. Last slide. So especially the seed and seed oil of this plant are known to have anti-inflammatory, anti-neoplastic, which means anti-cancerous, antibacterial, antioxidant and anti-diabetic activity. As we are more into anti-diabetic activity, the anti-diabetic activity of the seed and seed oil of Tuvaraka was tested on diabetes-induced rats for 28 days. And the results were shown to have proven blood glucose levels, and the seeds can also control the release of more sugar in urine, which is effective against Madhumeha. So these are the other phytochemicals present in the seed alone. Conclusion. So to conclude, as I've shown you the several phytochemicals, so these were actually taken from one of the largest digital database called Impact 2.0, which has a description on all the phytochemicals present in Indian medicinal plants. But without all these, our acharyas were able to stipulate medical interpretations and treatment methodologies back in ancient times, and their inferences have proven so significant for today's modern medicine. One such example being Genomics. I don't know how many of you have heard about it. Genomics is so good. It actually combines the age-old wisdom of Ayurveda and implies it in genomics research. So it is very good, booming now. So with the rising global scenario towards alternative medicine, everyone wants to go to alternative medicine now, but we are not so sure and confident of taking our own traditional knowledge. So standardization and proper optimization of the traditional Ayurvedic drugs will prove so good in this, and it will give, and the scientific validation of Ayurvedic drugs will also bring a suitable solution and give confidence to modern day scientists, medical practitioners and consumers, and this will also address the objective of the Indian knowledge systems, which is actually to revive the traditional knowledge and take it more to the modern day scientific masses. So with this said, my current doctoral work is also involving the scientific validation of one such Ayurvedic drug called Devadar Virishtam, which is referenced from Bhaishajya Ratnavali. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Okay, this is an excellent presentation of diabetes.
Thank you, sir.
Through Ayurveda.
Thank you.
I hope that in future there is an integrated medication for this. The allopathics also take into account what Ayurveda contributes to the alleviation of this disease. But let us hope.
Yeah.
They agree to it. Okay, thank you for your
Thank you.
excellent presentation.
Thank you so
I
much,
think
sir.
there are people who will ask questions, but there is no time for us to for question answer session. So we will have it some other day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The next are Ārabhi, Research Scholar, Sree Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady. So she will be presenting the paper on importance of Vajigirana in human's life. Okay, you do it yourself. I don't want to explain what is Vajigirana. Okay. Because nowadays there have been several infertility clinics cropping up in the city. So this will help them to stem the rot.
Importance of Vajigirana in human's life. Ayurveda, the science of life, deals with every aspect of life. It is considered as the Upaveda of Āyurveda. It focuses on the protection and promotion of health and treatment for diseases. It consists of 8 branches. Vajigirana is one of them. Vajigirana therapy focuses on virility and enhancing the health of offspring. Ashtanga Hridaya, Charaka Samhita and Susruta Samhita, which are called Brihatrayi. Vajigirana therapy is explained in the last chapter of Uttarasthana of Ashtanga Hridaya. Chikitsasthana of Charaka Samhita and of Susruta Samhita covers the rejuvenation therapy and Vajigirana therapy. Millions of people struggle with infertility. The modernized work schedule and life pattern affects every individual's life. Nowadays, the work time, food and climate affects the lifestyle of the people, and they are suffering to have a healthy marital life. Apart from that, every individual has a desire to have a child. They are facing so many problems for having a child of their own. There are many ways to overcome that, but most of them are not affordable. Several parts of the world, particularly low and middle income nations, still lack accessibility to most modern therapies, and their cost is expensive. Many Vajigirana therapies mentioned in Ayurvedic classics, which are cheaper, easier to prepare, safer and effective. Vajigirana therapy improves the function of reproductive organs in male and females. It increases the sperm count and strengthens the sperm motility in men and makes ovum more viable for conception in women. Primary goal of Vajigirana focuses always on successful copulation of for healthy reproduction with pleasure. The word Vajigarna is composed of two words, Vaji and Karana. Vaji means horse, the symbol of sexual potency and performance. Karana means power. By proper use of Vajigarna formulations, one becomes endowed with potency, strength and sexually strong as a horse. There are 7 dhadus in the human body which helps in cell growth and development. Shukra dhatu is one of them. Vajigarna therapy affects the Shukra dhatu by increasing the semen production and leading to the production of healthy offspring. Thus, Vajigarna therapy is related to sexual and reproductive disorders such as infertility, azoospermia, oligospermia, erectile dysfunction and premature ejaculation. Vagbharacharya says that a couple who seeks for pleasure should constantly follow the Vajigarna therapy. It in fact bestows delightfulness, children with good traits and continued progeny. And also through this therapy, which helps to increase a man's strength and vitality, makes him able to copulate with a woman with the same strength as a horse. Before consuming Vajigarna medicines, the person should follow a diet including ghee, sweet, milk, meat juice, oil and honey. In Charaka Samhita explains the benefits of Vajigarna therapy as it provides strength, nourishment, potential, self-confidence and willpower to an individual. It stimulates virility in man. It increases the time span of erection and helps to overcome erectile dysfunction. This makes the partners having a healthy sexual life in a marital life. Vajigarna therapy not only increases the procreative virility but also increases the health of dhadus. Sushruta says that a healthy person who consumes Vajigarna medicines daily with a proper diet has the ability to generate healthy offsprings. The healthy dhadus in them help to have a healthy body which leads to induce good mutations in their genome. This helps to generate healthy offspring. Purification of body before Vajigarna. Vajigarna therapy is started after the purification of an individual's body. This method cannot be worked if the body is unhealthy or full of undigested food matter which are toxins. Panchakarma therapy is recommended for the patients with seminal disorders. The person should be followed the ovulation, purification, decoction, enema, lubricating enema for effective Vajigarna therapy. After the purification of the body, he can consume Vajigarna medicines which constitute milk, meat, soup and boiled rice along with ghee, oil, sugar and honey. Most importantly, one should consume the medicines with trust, tension-free mind, soul and by proper diet which would help to gain excellent results. Vajigarna is explained to safeguard against the wasting of the body in individuals with weak minds and those who suffer from various diseases. The one who is not ready to or not interested to have physical life with that partner, forcing them to that life will lead to an unhealthy relationship. High consumption of hot, spicy, salt and sour leads to fast erection and with less amount of semen. Mental peace and stress of an individual also affect the sexual life. The person who is well controlled over their senses and emotions are not interested in having a sexual life. The place, the climate and nature also affects the partner's mind. Nowadays, everyone gets stressed due to the lifestyle and work. This makes people tired and feel frustrated. Remedies for the above problems are reflected through this therapy. The person who has control over his sense organs and mind can prepare for Vajigarna therapy. When someone consumes medicine who has lost control over his senses and desires, they are becoming harmful to society. The people who are below 17 and above 70 are not well for sexual activity. It is due to their body conditions. For below 17 aged people, the reproductive tissues are not well developed, and for above 70 years old, their deterioration of tissues is going on due to old age. People with bad intentions, traumatic and hereditary impotent are also prohibited from the consumption of Vajigarna medicines. In this highly competitive world, one who invests time for their health can become healthier. The person should dedicate their time, their mind and soul for this entire process, not only for a healthy marital life but also for a healthy body and mind. I am concluding my presentation. Vajikarna therapy improves the production of healthy sperm, which leads to producing a healthy progeny for a healthy future society. This therapy rejuvenates male reproductive system and helps to increase sperm count and sperm motility. It increases body energy level and retards the aging process. Men who undergoes this therapy with the proper diet look attractive and never get tired. The partners who are undergoing to start a sexual life and who wish to continue the sexual life in a better way can consume Vajikarna medicines for better health and strength. This leads to a healthy marital life. The relationship between the couple will get stronger. The physical intimacy is a factor in a marital relationship. This will strengthen their bond. Due to the present lifestyle, so many couples are facing problems in their marital life. Not having a child after a marriage for years makes the partners feel sad, and it is not only due to the reason of a woman but also the problems within male too. These are solved by proper consumption of Vajikarna medicines and proper connection with the partner. Peace of mind, stress-free life and a healthy body makes a man wealthy. These can be occurred through meditation and proper diet. Vajikarna therapy aims at having a healthy relationship between the partners and also having healthy offspring who are physically as well as mentally fit and prove to be a good citizens for the future society. Thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, ma'am, thank you for your excellent presentation. This Vajikarna, I would like to add Bhano Bhaskara Martanda Chandarashmi Divagara Ayurarogya Aishwaryam Shriyam Putramsya Dehime. You just make your prayer to our Lord Sun and let all human beings get up from their bed before the sunrise and perform the Surya Namaskara, then all these things are not needed at all. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So I call upon the next candidate, Swathy K.P., the research scholar, the Sree Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady. So she will be presenting a paper on use of astras in Kurukshetra war, an analysis based on Mahabharata. So it should be an interesting one. Is it limited to Dhanurveda?
Yes.
Dhanurveda means all weapons.
Only the weapons in Divya, and, not Divya and character. Good afternoon to all. My topic is the use of astras in Kurukshetra war, an analysis based on Mahabharata. The Mahabharata, one of the greatest epics in India, is much more than just a collection of stories and teachings. It's a treasure of ancient knowledge, offering insights into various fields, including mythology, philosophy, ethics, and sciences. Among these, it provides detailed knowledge about warfare through Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda, the science of warfare, is one of the 4 Upavedas, especially associated with Āyurveda. It serves an ancient Indian treatise on martial sciences. Dhanurveda covers a wide range of skills necessary for combat, including archery, swordmanship, hand-to-hand fighting, and the use of astras, etc. Mahabharata serves as one of the primary sources showcasing the application of Dhanurveda. And what are the different kinds of astras were used in Kurukshetra war were discussing in this paper. The word astras comes from Sanskrit, meaning to throw or to release. Here the word astra using in terms of meaning weapon. There are other synonyms for astra are Shastra, Ayudha, Praharana. In this Shastra, which is used to kill someone, Ayudha is used... Sorry, sir. Shastra, which used to kill someone, Ayudha is used to fight, and Praharana is used to beat someone. There are other weapons too are used in Mahabharata, which is included in 4 types of Astra classification. Chaturvidham Ayudham, Muktam Amuktam, Muktamuktam, Yandramuktashteti. There are different types of weapons are mentioned, celestial and non-celestial weapons. Here this paper will concentrate only the weapons that are not Divya in nature. The Kurukshetra war, central event in the Mahabharata, unfolds across several paravas of the epic, each covering different aspects, phase and critical events of the battle. The Udyoga Parva, here the Parva sets the stage for Kurukshetra war, focusing on the diplomatic efforts and preparations of battle. Armies on both sides gather weapons like bows and arrows, swords, mace and shields. The Parva highlights the importance of conventional warfare and the weapon stockpiling as two sides prepare for the battle. Bhishma Parva gives the details of bow and arrow through this. Archery dominates throughout the Parva and the skills of warriors like Arjuna, Bhishma and others were notable ones. Precision and the speed of archery determine the flow of battle. Spears and javelin uses mid-range. The mace gains prominence in close combat situations. Bhishma uses mace to smash through enemies, soldiers and chariots. Duryodhana is highlighted as a skilled mace fighter. He focused on the strategies during the Parva, and also shields are used to defensively to protect warriors from incoming arrows and spears. The other is Shalya Parva, and the other Parva like Sautika, Sree Parva, Shanti Parva, Anushasana Parva were also give some information about war and the weapons. The type of weapons are the bow and arrow are the common weapon that can be seen in Kurukshetra war. Arrow means bhanas, which are more common in use compared with other weapons. Different types of arrows were mentioned are Shurapram, Ardhachandra, Valsadanda, Vibhadam, Anjalikam, Vaidastikam, Shuram, Varahakarnam, Tishnakarni, Stulakarni. Among these arrows, Ardhachandra were commonly used. Iron were used for making these arrows. These arrows were washed in the oil to prevent iron from rusting. Not only the iron, gold were also used for making these bows and arrows in those days. All the uses of these arrows are many. Some are used to kill the enemy and some others are used to injure, and it is seen that collective arrows is possible to make vyuha. Apart from these arrows were used to defend enemies' weapons. Arjuna, Karna, Bhima, Ekalavya, etc. were the arrow uses in the Mahabharata. Among them, Arjuna were most famous in his archery skill. The next weapon is spear. Naraja, Prasa, Shakti, Bhalla, Tomara, Kunda, Stula, Shangu, Dhanda, Kampana, Pratoda, Shalaga and Ratha Shakti are the weapons included in this category. In this, Naraja had sharpened edges. Pariga had iron spikes all over the body. Thick-based weapon called Shakti have a long handle called Tomara. Curved tip had weapons is Bhalla. Prasa is the smaller version of Balla. Among this, Balla was used commonly and mostly. These weapons are also made with iron, gold, etc. Shakti is made up of materials such as bamboo, wood, ivory and metal. Shakti has 11 cubits, Tomara 9 cubits, Balla has 7 cubits, is a traditional estimate of the length of weapons. It has been mentioned earlier that Prasa is type of sphere, has various in sizes. Prasa is not big as sphere. A rod made of wood and coated with metal and added with a tip becomes Prasa. There will be a hook on the edge. Prasa is usually performed by the horseman in the war. The next weapon are mentioned is swords. Kshura, Ghanda, Nistrimsa, Asi, Rishti, Rishti, Padi, Parashu, Parshvada were included in this category. Among this, Gadga were used mostly. Gadga is made up of using metal. According to the shape of the tip, sword is divided into 12 types in some books, and gold was used in manufacturing of Asi, Gadga and Charana. Mace. The other weapon mentioned is mace type weapon. It includes Gada, Musala, Mudghara, Ullugala. Among this, Gada was used commonly and mostly. Also, Gada is used to deliver power blows. Normally, Gada is made up of wood and also with metal. It seems to be different shape like triangular and shape with 4 corners. Mace fighting can be seen in Kurukshetra war. Bhima and Duryodhana were the most famous mace warriors in Mahabharata. These are the attacking weapons mentioned in Kurukshetra war. Then the defensive weapons are shields or kavaja. This plays significant role in warfare described in the Mahabharata. They served as essential protective gear offering both physical defense against the weapons. It's made up of materials like leather, wood or metal. These were used to block or defend weapons like swords, spears and bows and arrows. Compared to the above mentioned weapons like arrows, spears, sword and maces, the slightly mentioned weapons are chakra, vajras and stones. The irons were used to make chakras and purpose is to attack enemy. The other one is stone. The warriors from mountain region were also used stone for fighting. Vajras are the sometimes mentioned for killing enemies. These are the weapons mostly mentioned in the Kurukshetra war. Other than this, the special category is Divya Astras. Agneyastram, Varunastram, Parjanyastram, Nagastram, Mahendrastram, Asurastram, etc. were also this part of the Kurukshetra war. I am concluding. The Mahabharata is a work that gives valuable information about the science of weaponry in ancient India. Various types of weapons and their methods of application are mentioned there in Mahabharata. These weapons appears in different stages of the war across various parvas. The weapons like arrows, swords, mace, shields, etc. were manufactured with stones and other metals. Here the simpler overview of what are the weapons can be seen in the Kurukshetra war. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It is a very good attempt. I call upon C.Srimayur, research scholar, Srimayur, research scholar, Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda College, Chennai. So he will be presenting a paper on Dhanurveda Samhita.
Pashapankushadarangajānanam toshadānakarane cha tatparam ardhachandra-kalaya vibhūshitam nīraroha sadrisham bhajāmyaham. Namassarvebhyah. Adya maya pradarshayishyamānah shirshaka vishayastāvat Maharshi Vasishtha Pranita Dhanurveda Samhita iti. Bhavatu. Ayam Dhanurveda Vishayaha kutra upalabhyate इत्युक्ते अष्टादश विद्यासु उपलभ्यते. आयुर्वेदो धनुर्वेदो गान्धर्वश्चेति ते त्रयः अर्थशास्त्रं चतुर्थं तु विद्या ह्यष्टादश स्मृताः इति. अतः धनुर्वेदः तावत् अष्टादश विद्यासु अन्तर्भवति. साम्प्रतं मया प्रदर्शननिमित्तं स्वीकृतः ग्रन्थः तावत् धनुर्वेदसंहिता इति. अस्याः धनुर्वेदसंहितायाः पारम्परिकक्रमः कः इत्युक्ते अत्र प्रथमश्लोके उच्यते अथोवाच महादेवो भार्गवाय च धीमते तत्तेऽहं सम्प्रवक्ष्यामि यथा तथ्येन संशृणु. प्रथमम् इयं तावत् धनुर्विद्या भगवता परमेश्वरेण परशुरामाय उपदिष्टा. पश्चात् वसिष्ठेन महर्षिणा तावत् विश्वामित्राय दत्ता इति अत्र उपलभ्यते. साम्प्रतम् अत्र यः विषयः प्रदर्शयिष्यते इत्युक्ते धनुषः प्रयोजनं युद्धवैविध्यं आयुधशिक्षकलक्षणं धनुषः प्रसिद्धोल्लेखः शुभचापलक्षणं शरलक्षणं फललक्षणं वेदनविधिः लक्ष्यं हन्तव्योपदेशः. अनन्तरं प्रथमं धनुषः प्रयोजनं किम् इत्युक्ते तत्र आदौ उच्यते दुष्टदस्यु चोरेभ्यः साधु संरक्षणं धर्मतः प्रजापालनं धनुर्वेदस्य प्रयोजनं धनुर्वेदस्य प्रथमं प्रयोजनं किम् इत्युक्ते चोरेभ्यः दुष्टेभ्यः साधूनां संरक्षणमिति तदनन्तरं धनुर्विद्यायाः माहात्म्यम् अत्र उच्यते एकोऽपि यत्र नहरे प्रसिद्धः स्यात् धनुर्धरः ततो यान्त्यरयो दूरान् मृगाः सिंहगृहादिव यस्मिन् देशे केवलम् एकः धनुर्धारी भवति तं दृष्ट्वा कथं मृगाः तावत् सिंहं दृष्ट्वा पलायन्ते तद्वत् अरयः सर्वे तं दृष्ट्वा पलायन्ते इत्यत्र अर्थः दत्तः अपरं प्रथमं तदनन्तरं युद्धवैविध्यं नाम युद्धेषु तावत् आयुधानां प्रयोगः अनिवार्यः युद्धे कानि तावत् आयुधानि प्रयुज्यन्ते इत्यत्र उच्यते धनुश्चक्रं च कुन्तं च खड्गं च छुरिका कदा सप्तमं बाहु युद्धं स्यात् एवं युद्धानि सप्तदा युद्धं तावत् धनुषा चक्रेण कुन्तेन खड्गेन छुरिकया गदया तदनन्तरम् अन्ततः द्वाभ्यां बाहुभ्यां क्रियते इति अतः युद्धः अत्र सप्तदा किं तत् युद्धं तावत् सप्तदा विभक्तं वर्तते तत्र प्रथमं धनुः इति पदं दत्तं नाम धनुर्वेदे तावत् कथं विभागः अस्ति इत्यत्र उच्यते तत्र चतुष्पादात्मकः धनुर्वेदः इति धनुर्वेदे पादचतुष्टयं विद्यते किं तत् पादचतुष्टयं प्रथमे पादे तावत् दीक्षाप्रकारः द्वितीये तावत् सङ्ग्रहः नाम धनुषः अभ्यासविधिः शिक्ष्यते तृतीये तावत् सिद्धप्रयोगाः नाम धनुषस्य कथम् उपयोगः कर्तव्यः इति चतुर्थे तावत् प्रयोगविषयः कथं धनुषी अस्त्रं तावत् सन्धत्तव्यं कथं मन्त्रः तावत् प्रयोक्तव्यः इत्यादि नियमाः चतुर्थे पादे तावत् सङ्कथ्यते अपरम् तदनन्तरं युद्धमित्युक्ते कश्चन शिक्षकः आवश्यकः भवति शिक्षकः तावत् धनुर्वेदानुसारं चतुर्धा विभज्यते आदौ तावत् युद्धं सप्तधा उक्तमिति वर्तते किल यः तावत् उक्तेषु सप्तयुद्धेषु सप्त अपि युद्धानि जानाति सः आचार्यः आचार्यः सप्तयुद्धः स्यात् यः आचार्यः भवितुमर्हति सः सप्तविधान्यपि युद्धानि जानाति तदनन्तरं चतुर्भिर्भार्गव स्मृतः उक्तेषु सप्तयुद्धेषु यः केवलं चत्वारि युद्धानि जानाति सः भार्गवः द्वाभ्यां चैव भवेद्योधः यः तावत् उक्तेषु सप्तयुद्धेषु द्वे जानाति सः योधः तदनन्तरं यः केवलम् एकमेव जानाति सः गणकः इति उच्यते तदनन्तरं संस्कृतसाहित्ये धनुषः उल्लेखाः कुत्र कुत्र प्राप्यन्ते इति प्रथमं वेदोऽखिलो धर्ममूलमिति वचनात् प्रथमं वेदे उच्यते श्रीरुद्रबाहे यातैषु शिवतमा शिवं बभूव ते धनुः तदनन्तरम् इत्थम् उच्यते तदनन्तरं महाभारते अर्जुनस्य इमे बाणाः नेमे बाणाः शिखण्डिनः इत्यादयः परशुरामस्य विषये अग्रतः चतुरो वेदाः पृष्ठतः सशरं धनुः इदं ब्राह्मम् इदं चापं चापादपि शरादपि इत्यत्र धनुषः उल्लेखः श्रीमद्भागवते कृष्ण अवतारसमये कालीदेव्याः अवतारविषयः तावत् कथ्यते तत्र कालीदेव्याः हस्तेपि धनुर्बाणौ किं तत् आस्तामिति उच्यते तद्दस्तात् सहसोत्पत्य सद्यो देव्यम्बरङ्गता अदृश्यतानुजा विष्णोः साष्टायुधमहाभुज दिव्यस्रगम्बरालेप रत्नाभरणभूषिता धनुःशूलेषु चर्मासि इति पदमत्र उल्लेखनीयं भवति धनुःशूलेषु चर्मासि शङ्खचक्रगदाधरा भगवद्गीतायामपि गाण्डीवं स्रंसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते विसृज्य सशरं चापमित्यत्र तत्रापि उल्लेखः कृतः अपरम् धनुः तावत् कथं भवितव्यम् इत्यत्र विशेषः उच्यते त्रिपर्वं पञ्चपर्वं वा सप्तपर्वं तथा पुनः नवपर्वं च कोदण्डं सर्वदा शुभकारकं यदि धनुः इत्युक्ते तस्य धनुषः निष्पादनं तावत् केवलं वंशवृक्षेणेव प्रायशः भवितुमर्हति किन्तु क्वचित् तावत् मृगाणाम् उत गवां तावत् शृङ्गेनापि कर्तुं शक्यते इति उक्तं वर्तते नाम धनुषः निष्पादनाय यः वंशवृक्षः स्वीक्रियते तस्मिन् कानि पर्वाणि भवितव्यानि इत्यत्र उच्यते 3, 5, 7, 9 इति भवन्ति चेत् तत् धनुः तावत् शुभकारकं भवेत् युद्धसमये यत् धनं किं तत् यत् धनुः तावत् वर्जितं भवति इत्युक्ते उच्यते चतुष्पर्वञ्च षट्पर्व अष्टपर्वं विवर्जयेत् यस्मिन् वंशविशेषे तावत् चत्वारि षट् अष्ट इति पर्वाणि सन्ति तं वंशवृक्षम् उपयुज्य धनुः नैव कुर्यात् इत्यत्र अर्थविशेषः अपरं नाम शरलक्षणं प्रथमं धनुषः निष्पादनम् उक्तं तदनन्तरं तस्मिन् सन्धानाय शरस्य आवश्यकः भवति किल तदत्र उच्यते शरवंशा गृहीतव्या शरत्काले च गाधिज कठिनं वर्तुलं काण्डं गृह्णीयात् सुप्रदेशजं शराश्च त्रिविधा ज्ञेयाः स्त्रीपुंसाश्च नपुंसकः अग्रस्थूलो भवेन्नारी पश्चात् स्थूलो भवेत् पुमान् समो नपुंसको ज्ञेयः युद्धे सर्वत्र शस्यते इत्यत्र उक्तं वर्तते नाम शरनिर्माणाय तावत् काशः इति कश्चन वृक्षविशेषः तावत् भवति तदुपयुज्य शराः तावत् कर्तव्याः इति उच्यते अत्र गाधिज इति पदं भवति प्रथमं न मया उक्तम् इयं तावत् धनुर्वेदसंहिता प्रथमं भगवता परमेश्वरेण परशुरामाय ततः वसिष्ठमुखात् विश्वामित्राय अत्र गाधिज इति वसिष्ठेनैव एतत् उपदिश्यते तदनन्तरं शराः सामान्यतः त्रिधा विभज्येत् कथं चेत् अग्रस्थूलो भवेन्नारी यदि शरस्य फलप्रदेशः स्थूलतया भवति चेत् सः शरः नारी इति कथ्यते पश्चात् स्थूलः यदि तस्य अन्तिमभागः तावत् बृहत् वर्तते चेत् सः तावत् पुमान् यदि सर्वत्र समं भवति चेत् सः नपुंसकः इत्यत्र उच्यते अपरं फललक्षणं नाम टिप् इति वदामः किल शरे तावत् टिप् इत्यस्य उपयोजनं कथम् इति उच्यते आरामुखं क्षुरप्रञ्च गोपुच्छं चार्धचन्द्रकं सूचीमुखं च भल्लं च वत्सदन्तं द्विभल्लकम् इत्यत्र तावत् चित्रं दत्तम् आरामुखम् इत्युक्ते किं क्षुरप्रम् इत्युक्ते किम् इति नाम फलानाम् उपयोजनेन फलसिद्धिरपि विविधा भविष्यति आरामुखेन चर्मच्छेदनं क्षुरप्रेण बाणकर्तनं गोपुच्छेन लक्ष्यसाधनमिति तदनन्तरं वेदनविधिः लक्ष्यञ्च नाम साम्प्रतं धनुः दत्तं शरः दत्तः तदुपयुज्य कथं तावत् लक्ष्यं तावत् वेदनीयम् इत्युक्ते उच्यते प्रथमं पुष्पवेदञ्च फलहीनेन पत्रिणा ततः फलयुतेनैव मत्स्यवेदञ्च कारयेत् यः तावत् प्रथमं धनुर्विद्याभ्यासं कर्तुम् आगच्छति तस्य हस्ते तावत् धनुः शरः तावत् दातव्यः शरः तावत् फलहीनः एव दातव्यः तेन फलहीनेन शरेण प्रथमं पुष्पवेदनं कुर्यात् यदि अभ्यासः जातः चेत् तस्य हस्ते तावत् फलयुतशरः दातव्यः इत्यत्र उक्तः तदनन्तरं लक्ष्यं कथं भवति इत्यत्र उच्यते लक्ष्यं चतुर्विधं ज्ञेयं स्थिरं चैव चलं तथा चलाचलं द्वयचलं वेदनीयं क्रमेण तु नाम टार्गेट् इति वदामः किल बुल् सैस् इति वदामः किल तत् कथमिति उच्यते स्थिरं चलं चलाचलं द्वयचलम् इति स्थिरमित्युक्ते नाम यः वेदयितुम् इच्छति यत् तावत् शरव्यं भवति उभावपि स्थिरमेव भवतः तदनन्तरं चलमित्युक्ते लक्ष्यं तावत् चलं भवति यः वेदयति सः स्थिरः भविष्यति अस्य प्रसिद्ध उदाहरणं चेत् त्रिपुरासुरसंहारः तत्र लक्ष्यं तावत् पुरत्रयं तावत् भ्रमदेव भवति किन्तु भगवान् परमेश्वरः वेदकः सः स्थिरो भूत्वा एव लक्ष्यं वेदयति अतः चलं तदनन्तरं चलाचलम् इत्युक्ते लक्ष्यं तावत् चलं भवति यः वेदयति सः अचलः एव भवति तदनन्तरं द्वयचलम् इत्युक्ते लक्ष्यं तथा वेदकः उभावपि चलतः अस्य प्रसिद्ध उदाहरणं तु अभिज्ञानशाकुन्तले प्राप्यते दुष्यन्तः तावत् मृगम् अनुसरन् गच्छति तदा कृष्णसारे दत्तचक्षुः त्वयि चादिज्य कार्मुके मृगानुसारिणं साक्षात् पश्यामीव पिनाकिनमिति तत्र लक्ष्यमपि चलति यः वेदयति सः अपि चलति अनन्तरं हन्तव्योपदेशः यदि हस्ते तावत् धनुः लभ्यते चेत् सर्वानपि ताडयेयं वा इत्युक्ते तथा न यं तावत् हन्यात् यं तावत् न हन्यात् इत्यत्र विशेषः दीयते सुप्तं प्रसुप्तमुन्मत्तं ह्यकच्छं शस्त्रवर्जितं बालं स्त्रियं दीनवाक्यं धावन्तं नैव घातयेत् यः तावत् स्वपिति प्रसुप्तं यः तावत् आत्मानमपि विस्मृत्य स्वपिति अकच्छमित्युक्ते तेषु चन कालेषु पैंट इत्यादिकं नास्ति तेषु कालेषु पञ्चकच्छमेव आसीत् यदि युद्धकरणसमये तावत् वस्त्रं तावत् शिथिलं जायेत तदा वस्त्रसमीकरणसमये तं न हन्यात् यः तावत् उन्मत्तं यः तावत् प्रमत्तः भवति तं न हन्यात् शस्त्रवर्जितं यस्य हस्ते तावत् आयुधं नास्ति तं न हन्यात् बालं शिशुं न हन्यात् स्त्रियं न हन्यात् दीनवाक्यं ह्यः तावत् मां मुञ्च अहं तावत् अशरणः इति प्रलपति तं न हन्यात् धावन्तं यः तावत् पलायते युद्धरङ्गात् तं न ताडयेत् इत्यत्र उपदेशः दीयते धन्यवादः एतद् अवसरनिमित्तम् अवकाशदानाय महान् धन्यवादः तत्र तावत् उट्टङ्कणदोषः एव चोरेभ्यः इत्येव किन्तु रलयोरभेदः तथा न धन्यवादः मुक्त अमुक्त तदनन्तरं मुक्तामुक्त यन्त्रमुक्त इति चतुर्धा विभक्तमस्ति तत्तावत् पूर्वमेव उक्तमिति कारणात् मया न उक्तं तदेव
Excellent presentation. Excellent. Okay, next I invite Abhijit Rajendran, research scholar, Sri Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady. He is also going to present Dhanurvedokta Yuddhopakarananam Prakaraha Parichayaha cha.
Namaskaraः. मम विषयेषु कतिपय विषयाः महोदयं पूर्वम् उक्तवान् तत् त्यक्त्वा किमपि वक्तुम् अहं प्रयत्नं करोमि सायणेन वेदपरिभाषायाम् एवम् उक्तं भवति इष्टप्राप्ति अनिष्टपरिहारयोः अलौकिकम् उपायं यो ग्रन्थः वेदेति स वेदः इत्युक्ते इष्टप्राप्तेः अनिष्टत्यागस्य च दिव्यविधिं वर्णयत् शास्त्रं वेदः इत्यर्थः एषा परिभाषा वेदप्रयोजनं प्रस्तौति चतुर्णां वेदानां पूरकत्वेन ये ज्ञानव्यवस्था स्मृताः ते उपवेदाः इति प्रसिद्धाः सन्ति आयुर्वेदः धनुर्वेदः गान्धर्ववेदः अर्थशास्त्रः एवम् उपवेदाः सन्ति आयुर्वेदः चिकित्साशास्त्रं धनुर्वेदः युद्धकलाविज्ञानं गान्धर्ववेदः सङ्गीतस्य वा काव्यस्य वा विज्ञानम् अर्थशास्त्रं शासन अर्थव्यवस्थायाः प्रशासनस्य च विज्ञानं धनुर्वेदः मानवाः वर्षवादवन्नि रात्रादिभ्यो प्राकृतविपद्भ्यो भीतः आसन् इतिहासकालादारभ्य वन्यजन्तुवादिभयमपि तम् अनुवर्तन्ते स्म ततः आत्मरक्षणाय उपायं विजेतुं शक्तिः शस्त्राणि च प्रमुखानि इति ते अवगतवन्तः आत्मरक्षणाय बलस्य शक्तेः च आवश्यकता ते अजानन् विजयप्राप्त्यै शरीरबलस्य युद्धविधीनां च प्राधान्यमस्ति इत्यपि ते ज्ञातवन्तः आत्मरक्षणार्थं युद्धविधिं पठितवन्तः कालान्तरे आयुधाः आविर्भूताः इतिहासप्रारम्भे मानवाः आत्मरक्षणाय पाषाण अस्त्र शृङ्गादिशस्त्राणाम् उपयोगं कुर्वन्ति स्म यतोहि एते सुलभतया प्राप्यन्ते स्म कालान्तरे मानवानां विकासः अपि सामाजिकरूपेण भौगोलिकरूपेण च भिन्नः अभवत् समाजे आधिपत्यस्थापनाय युद्धम् अतीव सामान्यम् अभवत् ततः पूर्विकानामपि अधिकः विकासः जातः तेन धनुर्बाणगण्ड शूल गदादीनाम् आयुधानां च निर्माणम् आविर्भूतानि युद्धधनुर्विद्या प्रतिपादकः ग्रन्थः अस्ति धनुर्वेदः परम्परया यजुर्वेदस्य उपवेदः इति गण्यते भृगुः विश्वामित्रः अथवा भरद्वाजः वा अस्य आचार्यः इति पण्डितानाम् अभिप्रायः चतुर्णाम् उपवेदानाम् अन्यतो अयं धनुर्वेदे युद्धकलादिविषये चर्चां कुर्वन्ति धनुर्वेदे सैन्यविज्ञानं शस्त्रप्रयोगस्य समाविष्टः तेषु निपुणता योद्धॄणां धर्मः च आसीत् धनुर्वेदात् न केवलं धनुः बाणः च स्वीकृतौ अपि तु धनुशब्दः रूढ्या चतुर्विधशस्त्राणि अपि प्रतीकरूपेण स्वीकुर्वन्ति विश्वकोशे उक्तं ധനൂംഷി ഉപലക്ഷണേന ധനുരാദീനി അസ്ത്രാണി വിദ്യന്തെ ജ്ഞായന്ത അനേന ഇതി ധനുർവേദഃ. ധനുർവേദस्य പ്രയോജനവിषयेऽपि केषुचित् ग्रन्थेषु उक्तं वर्तते. दुष्टदस्य चौरादिभ्यः साधुसंरक्षणं तदा धर्मादः प्रजापालनं धनुर्वेदस्य प्रयोजनम्. एकोऽपि यत्र नगरे प्रसिद्धः स्यात् धनुर्धरः ततो यान्त्यरयो दूरान् मृगाः सिंहगृहादिव. ധനുർവേദस्य अनेकानि भाष्याणि उपलभ्यन्ते. महाभारतम्, अग्निपुराणं, मधुसूदनसरस्वतेः प्रस्थानभेदः इत्यादि ग्रन्थाः धनुर्वेदस्य सजीवचित्रं निर्दिशन्ति. दीक्षा प्राचीनभारतीय विद्वांसः धनुर्वेदं चतुर्षु पादेषु विभज्यन्ते स्म. धनुर्वेदसंहितानुसारं दीक्षा, संग्रह, सिद्धः, प्रयोगः चत्वारः पादाः. नीलकण्ठीये महाभारतभाष्ये मन्त्रमुक्तं, पाणिमुक्तं, मुक्तामुक्तं, अमुक्तं च इति धनुर्वेदविभागः कृतः वर्तते. धनुर्वेदे रथ, गज, अश्वसेन इति विभागः. नीतिप्रकाशिकायां धनुर्वेदं मुक्तम्, अमुक्तं, मुक्तामुक्तं, यन्त्रमुक्तं चेति व्यभजति. शस्त्राणां वर्गीकरणं. धनुर्वेदे शस्त्राणि प्रयोगानुसारं चतुर्था विभक्तानि. चतुर्विधमायुधं मुक्तम्, अमुक्तं, मुक्तामुक्तं, यन्त्रमुक्तं च इति. मुक्तम् इत्यस्य अर्थः यद् प्रयोक्तुः पूर्णतया मुक्तः भवति. मुक्तशस्त्राणि हस्तेन क्षेप्तुं शक्यन्ते. अमुक्तशस्त्राणि हस्तात् त्यक्तुं न शक्यन्ते. गदा, शूलादीनि शस्त्राणि तत्र भवति. यानि शस्त्राणि कदाचित् मुक्तानि भवन्ति तानि मुक्तामुक्तानि. उदाहरणं स्पेड् इति वदति. यन्त्राणां सहायेन क्षिप्तानि शस्त्राणि यन्त्रमुक्तानि. अस्य उदाहरणं कैटपल्ट् बॉल इत्यादीनि. वसिष्ठमते युद्धे प्रयुक्तानि अस्त्राणि सप्तधा वर्गीकरणं कर्तुं शक्यते. धनुः, चक्रं च, कुन्दं च, खड्गं च, छुरिका, गदा. सप्तमं बाह्युयुद्धं स्यादेवं युद्धानि सप्तधा. श्लोके सप्त युद्धमार्गाः कथ्यन्ते. धनुषः, चक्रः, शूलं, गदा, खड्गः, गदा, द्वन्द्वयुद्धं च. शुक्रनीतौ युद्धं चतुर्था वर्गीकृतम्. उत्तमं, मध्यमम्, अधमम्, अधमाधमम् इति. अस्त्राणां चयनं तेषां समूहः मन्त्राश्रयेण युद्धे प्रयुज्यन्ते स्म. आयुधानां परिचयः. धनुः धातुः काष्ठं केषाञ्चन वन्यजन्तूनां शृङ्गाः च धनुषां निर्माणार्थम् उपयुज्यन्ते. सुवर्णं, ताम्रं, रजतम् इत्यादयः धातवः सामान्यतया धनुर्निर्माणाय स्वीकुर्वन्ति. वेणुरपि च सामान्यतया प्रयुक्तं. त्रिपर्वं, पञ्चपर्वं वा सप्तपर्वं तथा पुनः नवपर्वं च कोदण्डं सर्वदा शुभकारकम्. इत्युक्ते त्रिपञ्च सप्त नवादि विषमसन्धियुक्तं वेणुमयं च धनुः सर्वदा शुभं मन्यन्ते. तद् षट् अष्टसन्धियुक्तं च धनुः परित्यजेत्. धनुर्वेदे धनुर्बाणानां विविधाः उल्लेखाः सन्ति. धनुः द्विप्रकारेण वर्गीकृतः. प्रथमं यौगिकं चापं युद्धचापं, द्वितीयकं निजबाहुबलेनात्मना किञ्चित् नूनं शुभं धनुः. धनुर्द्वयं यौगिकं युद्धचापं च. यौगिकं वा धनुः शृङ्गकाष्ठस्नायुर्निर्मितं मुख्यतया अभ्यासार्थं प्रयुज्यन्ते. युद्धचापं तु युद्धार्थम् उपयुज्यन्ते. धनुर्वेदः धनुर्धरस्य प्राधान्यं ददाति. धनुषां परिमाणं धनुर्धरस्य परिमाणस्य आरोग्यस्य च अनुपाते भवेत्. सामान्य धनुर्दैर्घ्यं दिव्यधनुषाम् अपेक्षा लघु भवेत्. सार्धपञ्चहस्तप्रमाणं धनुः श्रेष्ठं ज्ञायते. सामान्यजनानाम् उपयोगाय युक्तानां धनुषां परिमाणं चतुर्हस्तं भवति. ये धनुषु अयोग्याः तेषां विषये अपि अत्र सूच्यते. अतिवृद्धानि भङ्गुतरधनुषि न प्रयोक्तव्यानि. अपक्कस्य भाणोः धनुः, वेणोः धनुः यत् पूर्वजैः कुटुम्बे वा प्रयुक्तम् एतादृशाः न उपयोक्तव्याः. वसिष्ठधनुर्वेदसंहितायाम् उक्ताः ये गुणानां लक्षणं वक्ष्ये यादृशं कारयेत् गुणं पट्टसूत्रे गुणः कायै कनिष्ठमान संमितः धनुः प्रमाणे निसन्धिः शुद्धस्त्रिगुणतन्तुभिः वर्तितः स्यात् गुणाः लक्षणः सर्वकर्मसहोयुधिः. अत्र श्लोकैः जायाः अथवा गुणाः व्याख्यायन्ते.
Please come to the conclusion. Please come to the conclusion.
वेदपुराण महाकाव्येषु शस्त्राणां युद्धकथायाः च विषये बहु वर्णनानि सन्ति. महाकाव्यानि वस्तुतः युद्धकाव्यानि सन्ति. रामायणो महाभारते च युद्धस्य वर्णनाय पृथक् अध्यायः अपि वर्तते. एतेषु महायोद्धॄणां विशेष अस्त्राणां च स्तुतिः अस्ति. एतेषु महाकाव्येषु युद्धः शान्ति पुनर्स्थापनाय उपायरूपेण मन्यन्ते स्म. भगवद्गीतायां सुसज्जितयुद्धक्षेत्रस्य वर्णनमपि कृतम्. गीता युद्धस्य सैनिकं सुशक्तं करोति. मनुस्मृतिः युद्धनीतिविषये विस्तृतं विवरणं ददाति. संस्कृतसाहित्ये युद्धास्त्रविषये स्थूलसन्दर्भाः बहवः सन्ति। अनेन अध्ययनेन शस्त्राणाम् उत्पत्तिविषये काश्चन सूचनाः प्राप्यन्ते। पौराणिकक्षेत्रे शस्त्राणां विषये अपि चर्चा कृता अस्ति। भारतस्य प्रायः सर्वाः देवताः केनचित् प्रकारेण शस्त्रैः सम्बन्धाः सन्ति। धनुर्वेदः अथवा प्राचीनशस्त्रास्त्रविषये रचिताः कृतयः आयुधानां युद्धसम्बन्धकार्येषु च सुष्ठुः ज्ञानं ददाति। प्राचीनभारते प्रयुक्तानां धनुर्बाण खड्गशूल दण्डादीनाम् आयुधानां विषये अत्र विवरणं दत्तं वर्तते। अनेन अवगन्तुं शक्यते यत् भारते अस्त्रशस्त्राणां विविधता समृद्धिः एवं प्राचीनयोद्धॄणां जीवने युद्धस्य प्रसक्तिः च अत्यन्तं महत्तरम् आसन् इति। संस्कृतसाहित्यस्य प्रमुखाः ग्रन्थाः प्राचीनकलावीराणां विजयस्तुत्यर्थम् एव अपि भवति। शस्त्रस्य अवधारणा भयात् उत्पन्ना। प्रारम्भपदे आत्मरक्षणार्थं शस्त्रस्य उपयोगः भवति स्म। पश्चात् आधिपत्यार्थमपि शस्त्रस्य उपयोगः कृतः इति। धन्यवादः।
Nice, nice. Next, I call upon Ashwathi Ganesh. She will be presenting her paper on integrating ecology and tradition, the principles of Vriksha Ayurveda.
Sri Gurubhyo Nama. Good afternoon all. Integrating ecology and tradition, the principles of Vriksha Ayurveda. Ecology as an emerging branch of modern scientific studies is an in-depth study of interactions among organisms with respect to their environment. Ecology consists of study of ecosystems. An ecosystem is defined as the non-living physiochemical and living assemblage of the plants, animals and microbes in which an ecological relationship is demonstrated. The roots of conservation of plant life can be traced back to the Vedic period. There are many ancient Indian texts that speak about the concept of ecology. They discuss a holistic concept of biodiversity, ecology, garden, forest and conservation mechanisms. Some of them include Ramayana, Mahabharata, Manusmriti, etc. Other than these, some texts were written entirely in ecology, biodiversity and related topics. One such text is Vriksha Ayurveda. Here I explain Vriksha Ayurveda based on the concept of Surapala. Vriksha Ayurveda literally means the science of plant life. It is a branch of ancient Indian healing system, Ayurveda. Vriksha Ayurveda is a special branch of ancient Indian science that deals with various aspects of plant life consisting of soil classification, grading and preservation of seeds, irrigation and fertilization, etc. It is a brilliant work consisting 12 chapters, each chapter dealing with key factors involving in the preservation and conservation of different types of plant life. The chapters Dhrumareksha, Upavanakriya and Tarumahima contain valuable suggestions on conservation of trees and its optimal utilization. Besides these classical texts contain practical advices on maintaining biodiversity, ecological balances, etc. These suggestions are holistic in nature and encourage a peaceful coexistence between human beings and plant life. It is a systematic compilation of the horticultural wisdom practiced by the ancients for many number of generations. Ecology and sustainable development are not modern concepts. Even Vedas that were written thousands of years ago speak about them. It was an essential part of Indian culture. People lived very close to nature. They respected and even worshipped the natural resources. Indians consider earth as mother and not as a material. Hence, protection of mother earth was considered equal to protection of one's own biological mother. These concepts, rituals, routines, etc. helped in protecting the ecosystem as well ensuring sustainable development. The current imbalance is undoubtedly the result of non-holistic approach towards the environment. Modern man considers earth as a material and tries to exploit the resource in whatever way he can. What he trying is to increase the productivity per hectare of land. On the other hand, the ancient concept was more holistic. Ancients consider ecological balance and biodiversity as essential ingredients for our peaceful living. Their concept was in depth and not just about planting trees. Complex details are discussed about gardens, the type of plants to be planted in it, the birds and animals to be included in it, the type of trees are to be planted in a house, the directions where they should be planted, etc. Every human being, be it a child or adult, had a role in it. And more importantly, everyone has aware of it and played their role well. Surapala opened his text with a Mangalacharana that clearly states that there is none who is more important and worthy of respect than one who plants trees. In his opening verse, he states a person only deserves the statue of an emperor only if he provides a garden with various facilities that include a palace with wide, extensive and aesthetic gardens consisting of big black trees. This opening verse is enough to understand the importance that the ancients had given to maintaining biodiversity and ecology even in our place to residence. Here we can see nothing and nobody is more important than a balanced ecosystem. This is what we lack in the modern society. In the modern world, human beings come first and the rest of the world comes later, which is the primary reason why we are having an ecological imbalance. Whereas as per ancient sages, human beings come last, and this is clear from the two verses where Surapala compares human beings and their dwelling places with that trees, ponds, lakes, etc. He says in his verse that planting 5 trees is more beneficial than building 5 houses, and then in another interesting verse he says construction of a pond is equal to digging 10 wells, construction of 10 ponds is equal to a lake, construction of 10 lakes is equal to a sun, and finally plantation of one single tree is equal to having 10 suns. This way Surapala equates tree with human beings and even goes on to say that tree are more useful than useless suns. He clearly states that top priority is always for the ecology, biodiversity and the surrounding environment. This approach itself contributes a lot to preservation of ecological balances and put forward a holistic idea for sustainable development, something that is possible only if we consider tree at least as equally important living beings on the planet and deserve similar attention. Vrikshayurveda puts forward a supreme concept about ecology and biodiversity. It treats man as just one small part of the whole environment. Earth was considered sacred, and hence any activity that is damaging to it was rejected and prohibited. All activities like soil preservation, use of herbal pesticide, herbal medicines to treat trees, planting of trees, construction of use of herbal pesticides, herbal medicines to treat trees, planting trees, construction of wells and ponds, etc. were considered to be activities of high regard. Same was the case with water. It was kept with perfect purity. Underground water resources were preserved. Planting trees were considered as a means to achieve all the 4 components of life, namely dharma, artha, kama and moksha. However, the ancient sages realized that the common man cannot understand the concept of sustainable development and the like. So they devised simple mechanisms. Through these mechanisms, they ensured that every human being played his role well in sustainable development. These proved to be unique ways of conservation of plant biodiversity. The next also glorified the construction of gardens at places of residence and king's places. He motivated people by stating that construction of a good garden brings good luck in the form of wealth, children, etc. The ancient recognized it long back that trees have a key role in sustainable development and advised people to plant specific trees around their houses. They did not limit their contribution to ecology by building gardens alone. Modern man's residence today mainly consist of small plants and flowers which they constructed with the aim of beautifying their residence. However, the way the ancient looks at it was completely different. They considered trees as a shelter site for birds and animals. This approach helped to develop a sense of responsibility in their minds towards the environment. This method of planting trees around houses is beneficial to both human beings and the environment. They mainly used these trees in 3 different ways: as a means of food, as a source of raw material, as a source of income. Usually big trees are found in forests, but here Surapala advising to plant them in the houses. He suggests that the surroundings of a house should have certain specific trees. This method is beneficial in maintaining ecological balance. However, Surapala did not limit the concept of garden to planting trees alone. His concept of garden is more than just a collection of plants. In short, Surapala is putting forward the concept of an ideal mini ecosystem wherein plants, insects, birds and other living beings interact with all non-living beings like water, soil, air, sunlight, etc. Vrikshayurveda also puts forward many other suggestions like timing of plantation, method of plantation, spacing between two to trees, method of manuring and treating diseases, etc. Even though treatments are careful, planned, and the medicines are purely made of herbs, this ensures that soil, air, and water are not polluted due to administration of medications to diseased plants. This also shows the deep respect that our ancient had for nature and its resources. For instance, the text discusses the preparation of a natural pesticide made from fish and animal waste.
Ashwati, come to the conclusion, please.
Enough. These herbal preparations have been tried in various parts of India by modern day botanists and farmers and have found promising results. Today, as a conclusion, today we people are increasingly becoming aware of the need for using holistic systems for sustainable development. The interest in this is also increasing. Therefore, the ecological concepts mentioned in Āyurveda have great significance. The main reason for today's environmental issues is loss of soil fertility, loss of biodiversity, also excessive plantation of rubber, tapioca, and plantation of creepers. If we had followed the advice of our ancient sages, as discussed in texts like Āyurveda, then we would have had a better ecology today. Hence, a detailed study on the conservation mechanisms put forward by Āyurveda should be undertaken to correct ecological imbalance. We inherited a balanced ecology from our forefathers. Hence, it is our duty to responsibility to preserve and hand over the same to the next generation. We cannot ignore it, nor can we escape from the responsibility. Let us shape the great future of this country by following the ecological concepts of our ancient seas. Let us mark the beginning of this by planting at least one tree today itself. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Next, I call upon Akhila MD, Research Scholar, Sree Sankaracharya, University of Sanskrit, Kalady. She will be speaking on interrelation of Tridosha and Panchamahabhuta in Ayurveda. Please, as we do not have much time, limit your presentation to 10 minutes.
Sri Guru Bhyo Nama. Good afternoon, one and all. So I am directly going to the content. Ayurveda provides three major components known as Tridosha to help us comprehend the human body, environmental conditions, and seasonal fluctuations play an important part in Ayurveda. Lifestyle, diet, exercise, and daily routines play essential roles in human health. These aid in the maintenance of good health by balancing the body stress and preventing the sickness. We think that the human body is composed of 5 elements, that is Panchamahabhuta. Ayurveda uses the Tridosha hypothesis to analyze human physiology. According to Tridosha hypothesis, each human is made up of 3 primary energies or doshas, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. Each dosha is composed of a combination of the 5 elements which is coexisted in a predetermined proportion and work in a balancing manner to motivate the organism to perform effectively. These doshas must be balanced in order for the body to function properly. Ayurvedic perspective, some organs are more associated with a particular dosha. For an example, our stomach is associated with the digestive fire, element of Pitta, our continuously beating heart with the movement aspect of Vata, and our skeleton with the structural aspect of Kapha. Vata literally means air, Vata representing air and ether. In Ayurveda says that Vata governs movement, circulation and communication in the body. Due to the influence of the air, controls bodily functions like breathing, blinking and muscle movement. In human body, major sites of Vata are muscles, bones, brain, ear, etc. Pitta, composed of fire and water. Vata is associated with the digestion, metabolism and transformation. It controls the body's temperature, hunger and the energy level. Kapha, made of earth and water. Kapha provides structure and stability to the body. It governs growth, immunity, lubrication of joints and the body's overall strength. Then it's Panchamahabhuta. The theory of Ayurveda aid in a exploration and explanation of the relationship between the human body and the universe. The 5 elements that make up the universe are Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apa and Prithvi. Each of these components has unique characters and behaviors. The Panchamahabhuta is combined in different proportions and way to create things. The earth element provides the cell structure. Water is the element that is present in the cell's liquid within the cell membrane. The fire element is presented by the metabolic process occurring within the cell. The air element is represented by the exchange of the gas within the cell. The space element are representing by the area the cell occupies, which also shows the pathway that permit the passage of the nutrients and the expulsion of the metabolic waste. According to Charaka, says that whatever is present in the world is also present in the human body, is explained as in the human body the space within the body, mouth, abdomen, etc. In a multicellular organism like a human signifies ether or space element. The exchange of gases and impulses are indicate the element air. The enzyme works on a human body. It indicates the fire elements. The presence of body fluids like plasma, saliva, digestive secretions are the indication of water element. The solid structure like teeth, bone, skin and hair are representation of the earth element. These 5 elements combine with each other to form the 3 humors of Vada, Pitta and Kapha, which is cornerstone of the Ayurvedic philosophy. Any change in these three doshas leads to an imbalance in the course of diseases, and our survival and ability to fight diseases would depend on how easily we adapt to our environment. Then relationship between Panchamahabhuta and Tridosha. The Tridosha are created on the basis of Panchamahabhuta. The balance between these factors determines the traits and attributes of each doshas, which is composite of 2 of the 5 elements. The combination of Panchamahabhutas into the 3 biological or physiological and physical forces, Tridosha, that make energy in the body. Energy are mainly kinetic, thermal and potential energy. The doshas are one way that Panchamahabhuta shows up the effect of person's physical makeup, emotional state and health. A person with a Vada predominance, for example, will have a light, dry and cold body type and many be more prone to digestion issue and anxiety. On the other hand, a person with a Kapha predominance will have a cooler, heavier body with a tendency towards fluid retention and lethargy. Then then conclusion. The fruitful conclusion is already mentioned that here that the Tridosha and Panchamahabhuta are interconnected. The development of the universe from the atom takes place from the 5 elements. They are basic element of our body and they explains with the 3 doshas. Ayurvedic medicine encourages whole body healing with which includes physical, mental and emotional health, which can include a practice like yoga, meditation, hygiene, sleep, spending time by yourself and with others, and managing your work-life balance. According to Ayurveda, imbalanced dosha leads to poor health and diseases. Therefore, opting for exercise, food and lifestyle habits based on your doshas is believed to promote optimal health and balance. Many proponents of Ayurveda claims that good health is based on one's dosha, yet there is little evidences to support this. The relationship between the Panchamahabhuta and Tridosha theory provides a holistic framework for understanding health and Ayurveda, but recognizing how the 5 elements shape the doshas and how the doshas in turn influence the body and mind. Ayurveda offers the dynamic approaches to maintaining health, preventing diseases and achieving harmony with nature.
Okay, thank you. Swathy K.P, research scholar, Sree Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady. So she will be presenting a paper on Ayurveda Dinacharya Vicharaha. So you also keep to the time, 10 minutes.
Namasabhaye Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Ayurvedam Adhava Vaidyashastram Chigilsam Pratipādayati. Chigilsa Rogashamanartham Bhavati. Rogaha Sharirashrayaha Bhavati. Ayuh Paripalanam Bhavati Ayurvedasya Saraha. Ayuh Paripalanam Rogabadha Badhita Rogasya Nivaranam Cha Mukhyam Karyam. Tadartham Ayurvede Swasthavrittam Aturavrittamiti Dvau Vidhau Vihitaha. Arogya Paripalanasya Aparam Nama Bhavati Arogya Reksha. Shariraha, Dravyaha, Rogaha, Chikitsa Ityadayaha Vishayaha Aturavritte Antarbhavati. Grandhesmin Sampurne Uparyukta Swasthavrittam Adhikritya Dosha Samyam Arogata Ityeva Pratipaditaha. Ataha Swasthavrittam Atra Pradhanyam Arhanti. Yatohi Rogasya Chikitsam Apekshya Arogata eva Shreyaskaraha. Swasthavrittam Ahara Vihare Ashritaha Dainindini cha Bhavati. Ataha Swasthavrittam Dinacharya Deva Arabhyate. Swasmin Sthiyate iti Swastaha. Yadha Sharira Manasoho Vividha Bhavanam Vyavasthita Rupena Yadha Sukha Visheshaha cha Bhavati Cheta Swasthyamithyuchyate. Vishayanam Varnanam Kritam Vartade. Yasmin Swasthyaha Asti Saha Swastaha Arogi Ityarthaha. Tadrashaha Swastaha Brahme Muhurte Uthiyate. Arogi Samrakshanaya Tadavashikamiti Jnatavyam. Brahme Muhurte Uttishtet Swastho Rekshartham Ayushaha. Brahma Muhurtaha iti Vishayam Adhikritya Bahavaha Mata Bhedaha Santi. Brahma Muhurtasya Nishchayaha Nasti Chedapi Vritti Bhedam Anusritya Kala Nirnayaha Kriyate Cha. Atra Swasthavritte Suchayati Yet Arogyavan Purushaha Brahme Muhurte Uthiyate iti. Asya Gauna Rupena Aswasthasya Purushasya Karye Viparita Rupena Svikaraniyaha. Pradhamam Danta Dhavanam. Ashtanga Hrade Sutrasthane Dvitiyadhyaye Dinacharyam Acharya Vagbhadaha Udhapananandaram Kim Kada Kadham Kimartham Karaniyam Ityadi Vishayam Adhikritya Savistaram Pratipaditam. Sharira Chintam Nirvartya Kritashaucha Vidhistata Arkanyagrodha Ghadira Karanjaka Kubhatikam Kaninyagrasamashthulam Sukurcham Dvadashangulam Pratar Bhuktvacha Mrudvagram Kashaya Katutiktakam Bhakshaye Danta Dhavanam Danta Mamsanya Badhain. Udhananantaram Sharira Chintam Nirvartya Shauchakarmani Vidhivat Kritva Kaninyehe Agrasya Samasthulam Sukurcham Dvadashangulat Dirghaha Mrudvagram Kashaya Katutiktakam Arkani Agrodha Ghadira Karanchaka Kubhatikadayaha Pratah Bhuktvacha Danta Mamsan Abadhaitva Danta Dhavanartham Upayoktavyam. Anjanam Savviram Anjanam Nityam Hitamakshnaustato Bhajet Lochane Tena Bhavata Susnigdha Ghana Pakshmani Vyaktatravarne Vimale Manokne Sukshma Darshane. Danta Dhavananantaram Akshnoho Hitam Savviram Anjanam Pratidinam Lepaniyam Tena Lochanena Susnigdha Ghana Pakshmani Akshnoho Anjana Shweta Aruna Varnani Vyaktaha Bhavet Anantaram Sukshma Darshana Shaktihi Prapyade. Abhyangam Nityam Acharaniyam Tena Jarashrama Vatadayaha Nivarayati Anena Drishtiprasadaha Deha Pushtihi Dirghayuhu Sukha Nidracha Sambhavati Shirasi Shrotre Pade Visheshena Abhyangam Karaniyam Kabhagrastaha Ajirnibhi Vamana Virechananantaram Cha Purushehi Abhyangam Varjaniyam. Vyayamaha Atra Vyayamaha Karaniyamiti Na Uchyade. Vyayamasya Gunaha Eva Pratipadyate. Sharirasya Laghutvam Karma Samarthyam Jadharaknehe Deepana Shaktihi Durmedasaha Kshayaha Cha Vyayamena Prapyade. Balavantaha Jananam Krite Vyayamaha Vidhiyate. Shita Vasanta Kalecha Swasharirasya Ardha Shaktim Upayujya Vyayamaha Karaniyaha. Grishma Varsha Sharat Kale Vatapittanam Chaya Prakopa Kala Mityanena Karanena Vyayamasya Kramaha Nyunaha Kartavyaha. Vyayamanantaram Sharirasya Sampurna Bhagaha Mandam Mardanam Api Karaniyam. Tadhaiva Vyayamaha Sharirasya Labhapradaha Bhavanti Tadha Tesham Prayogaha Mitarupena Kriyate Cheta Roga Nashakaraha Bhavati. प्रयोगः अमितरूपेण करोति चेत् रोगजनकः आरोग्यनाशकरः च भवति इति सारः। स्नानं दीपनमायुष्यं सम्भोगचातुर्यं च वर्धयति, मनःप्रसादः बलमपि वर्धयति, मलं खिन्नता स्वेतः जामिता तृड्दाहम् उष्णता इत्यादयाः दूरीकरोति। उष्णजलेन स्नानेन अधिकबलदायकः भवति, किन्तु उष्णजलम् उपयुज्य केशस्नानं केशानां नेत्राणां च क्षतेः कारणं भवति। तेनैव उच्यते नाम यतो उष्णजलेन शरीरस्नानेन बलं वर्धयति, एतादृश उष्णजलेन शिरः स्नात्वा एव केशानां बलहृतः भविष्यति इति पुनः अतिमन्दोष्णजलेन स्नानं क्रियते चेत् दोषः न बाध्यते इत्यपि अस्ति। यदा भवन्तः भोजनम् आरभन्ते तदा भवन्तः पूर्वं यत् भुक्तं तस्य दहनम् अभवत् वा इति द्रष्टव्यं। दहनं न हितं चेत् न भोक्तव्यं। यथा अन्नस्य सेवनं बहु वा अल्पं वा उत तत् मितेन वा स्वीकरणीयः, तथा यदि कश्चित् लघुव्याधिः भवति चेदपि तस्य चिकित्सां प्रथमं कृत्वा एव अन्यत् किमपि कार्येषु व्यापारः करणीयः, नो चेत् पुनः तस्य रोगस्य शमनः न भविष्यति। उपर्युक्तचर्याः कोऽपि वा अभ्यासः करोति चेत् सः स्वस्थः भवितुम् अर्हति। संक्षेपेण एतदेव वर्तते। अतीव बुभुक्षा अस्ति चेदेव भोजनं खादनीयं, पथ्याहारमेव भवतु। रोचकं चेदपि पूर्णोदरं मा खादव्यं। कदापि मलप्रवाहः न निरोधयेत्, नैव आवश्यकं चेत् बलप्रयोगः मा कारयेत्। एवम् उपविष्टोपि यदि कश्चित् व्याधिः आगच्छति चेत् चिकित्सा मा निवारणीया। योऽयं नियमान् अनुसरति सः सदा आरोग्यदृढगात्ररूपेण आजीवनं नयति। त्याज्य विषयः हिंसास्तेय अन्यथा कामम् इत्यादि कायकर्माणि पैशून्यं परुषम् अनृतं सम्भिन्नालापम् इति चतस्रः वाचिककर्माणि व्यापादम् अभिद्या भृग्विपर्ययम् इत्यादयः मानसिककर्माणि च अवश्यं त्यक्तव्यं। विनयः नित्यवृत्त्यर्थं क्लिष्टता अनुभूयमानाः व्याधितः अन्यानि दुःखेन पीडितैः साकं स्वशक्त्या साहाय्यं करणीयं। पिपीलिकम् अपि अस्मत्सदृशः इति द्रष्टव्यं। देवाः गावः पण्डिताः वैद्याः वृद्धाः राजाः अतिधयं च पूजनीयाः। ईर्ष्या अर्थिनः वृथा न प्रत्यागच्छेत्, अपमानः वा आक्षेपः वा मा कारयेत्, शत्रुम् अपि उपकारप्रधानः भवेत्, सम्पद्विपत्सु एकमनेन तिष्ठेत्, हेतौ ईर्ष्या भवेत् न तु फले। आशयविनिमयः यथा समये पद्यं मितं संक्षेपेण सुन्दरेण प्रकारेण वक्तव्यमस्ति। सम्भाषणं हसित्वा करणीयं, प्रसन्नमुखेन सद्गुणयुक्तेन करुणा च भवेत्। एकया सुखं न अनुभूयते, सर्वदा सर्वेषु विश्वासः मास्तु, संशयः अपि मास्तु। व्यवहारः एकोऽपि स्वशत्रुतेन न प्रकाशयेत्, आत्मानं परस्य शत्रु इत्यपि न प्रकाशयेत्, अवमानं न प्रकाशयेत्, प्रभोः स्नेहवैषम्यम् अपि न प्रकाशयेत्। कस्यचित् अवमानं विना सर्वेषां प्रीत्यर्थं यः इच्छति सः तस्मिन् समये एकैकानां मनोगतिं सम्यक् अवलोक्य तथा च केन प्रकारेण सुखी भविष्यति इति ज्ञात्वा तादृशं व्यवहारः करणीयः। उपसंहारः आयुर्वेदस्य विविधेषु ग्रन्थेषु दिनचर्याविषये चर्चा क्रियते। आयुर्वेदम् अस्माकं दिनचर्यायाः सम्पूर्णपरिवर्तनविषये सूचितं। ब्रह्ममुहूर्ते उत्थानं भवेत्, शिरश्रवणपादेषु निश्चयेन अभ्यङ्गं करणीयम् इत्यादि चर्याः प्रतिदिनं निश्चयेन आचरति चेत् शारीरिकमानसिक आरोग्यसंरक्षणं कर्तुं शक्यते। यदि रोगः आगतं चेत् प्रथमं चिकित्सा करणीयम्। आयुः परिपालनं, रोगबाधा, बाधितरोगस्य निवारणं च मुख्यः कार्यं भवति। यः समाचरन् प्रतिदिनं दीर्घायुः प्राप्यते, आरोग्यदृढगात्राः च भवति। अतः स्वास्थ्यशरीरस्य आवश्यकता अत्यन्तापेक्षितं वर्तते। तदर्थं दिनचर्यायाः स्थानम् उन्नतं च। धन्यवादः।
Thank you, Ma. You have covered almost all the aspects of dinacharya. Okay, thank you. Well presented. So I invite R. Soumya, Assistant Professor, MOP Vaishnav College for Women, Chennai, She will be presenting a paper on a bird's eye view on Dhanurveda Samhita of Maharishi Vasishta. Okay. Do it briefly because it has been already presented in
Whatever
science.
it is not done by Mayur, I will just...
Okay. Thank you.
A bird's eye view on Dhanurveda Samhita of Maharishi Vasishta. Yavanti bhuvi shastrani tesham shreshthataram dhanuhu dhanusham gocharetani na tesham gocharo dhanuhu. One of the Upavedas that demands extraordinary focus, accuracy, physical and mental strength is the science of archery. Dhanurveda, though literally means the science of archery, includes all the four classifications under military science. Dhanumshi upalakshanena dhanuradini astrani vidyante nyayante anena iti Dhanurvedaha, says Prasthana Bheda. Archery, though reduced to the state of a mere sport in the recent times, was a mandated self-defense martial art and placed next to the study of Vedas in the ancient times. It is considered to be the attachment of Yajurveda. And Sri D.E.D. Kulkarni, in his research article titled The Dhanurveda and its Contribution to Lexicography, mentions around 16 works on Dhanurveda. Out of that, this one is Maharishi's Vasishta's Dhanurveda. The next. So the introduction has been already given, which is initiated by Lord Shiva to Parashurama and then Vasishta to Vishwamitra. And it consists of the 4 quarters, namely Diksha, Samgraha, Siddha and Prayoga Vidhi. And all the 4 order of people are entitled to learn this science with a difference in their purpose of application. The people of the high order alone are eligible to impart to others. The next 2 have the right to use in the battlefield, whereas the 4th order utilize this for the knowledge for hunting purposes. So these are the 4 types of Ayudha explained: Muktam, Amuktam, Mukta Muktam and Yantra Muktam, which is discharged, thrown on others is Muktam, which is using hand. With hand is Amuktam, sometimes it is thrown or sometimes having it and fighting is Mukta Muktam, and which has been thrown by using a Yantra is Yantra Muktam. Next. So these are the 7 types of Yuddha which is already spoken. And then the next one. There are 2 types of bow referred here as Yaugika and Yuddha Chapa. Yaugika, it is supposed to be a composite bow. The size of the bow should be in proportionate to the strength of the bowman. So a bow measuring 4.5 cubits is recognized as the best, and Lord Mahadeva's bow is of the mentioned kind. The suitable bow for the common man's use measures only 4 hastas. The bows with odd joints are always considered as auspicious, and Sharanga, the divine bow of Vishnu, measures 7 vitasti. So vitasti is the distance between the wrist and the tip of the finger. The bows made of, other than bamboo, it's made of iron. The bows in general made of 3 materials, iron, horn and wood. The Sharanga bows are suitable for the cavalry and the warriors on horseback, whereas the foot soldiers and the charioteer use bows made of wood. So these are the metals used. Next. The qualities of string. The good string is made up of silk thread without joints. If silk is not available, the sinews of deer, buffalo or bull can be used. The bowstring made out of freshly killed hide of cow or goat, devoid of hairs, is made into thread, and this is considered to be the best. In the month of Bhadrapada, the bark of the sun plant matures and the fine threads can be made out of this. So this will be lasting for a long time. The arrow should be made of pale yellowish reed plants, that is shara, with the 2 cubit or 5 angulas. Arrow should never be too thick or too thin. The right time for the preparation of the reed arrow is the autumn season. The thickness of the arrow should be equal to the measure of the smallest finger. The feathers attached facilitates easy and steady flight of the arrows. The feathers of crow, swan, hawk, etc. will be excellent, and the length preferred is 6 angulas. 10 types of arrows mentioned based on the tip of the Aramukha used to cut the skin, Kshurapra used to cut the arrows or aiming at the hand, Gopucha is good for general aiming, Ardhachandra to cut enemy's head, Suchibuka can pierce armor, Bhalla can pierce enemy's heart, Vatsadanta is used to cut the bowstring. Dvibhalla entangling the enemy's arrow. Karni is to cut an iron arrow, and Kakatunda can cut any pierceable object. And then Banasya Upari Aushadha Lepanam. So the technique of applying poison on the arrowhead is called Phalapayanam. The color of the wild reed plants turn yellow after receiving a rain on a Swathy Nakshatra day, and its root turns poisonous. We have heard that the rainwater dropped on the shell turns into pearl on the Swathy Nakshatra day. But the same thing here, on Swathy Nakshatra day, its root turns poisonous if it receives a raindrop. So it is identified. How to identify that it has a poisonous root is, it is identified on seeing the plant trembling even without wind. The bark of the peepal tree along with the rock salt and the cost is a medicinal plant that is grounded in cow's urine when smeared over the arrowheads and heated till it becomes blue like a peacock's neck will get poisonous effect. It should be washed in water then. Such arrows can pierce even the strongest enemy. There are 3 types of arrows that is mentioned: Naracha, Nalika and Shatagni. So Naracha made of iron or 5 feathers are attached, and only a strong archer can use it. Nalika is a type of arrow which are light weighted, and it is shot through the tabular instruments, not with the dhanush. It can be shot from a greater distance from a high place, especially in Durga Yuddham. And Shatagni, it's a huge catapult placed in the entrance of the fort to prevent the entry of the enemies. So hundreds of people can be killed at a time. So it refers about 8 postures, standing postures, and then 5 holding of string, how to hold a string, 5 different postures, and also drawing of the string based on till which part, when they are drawing the bow string to till which part, till the hair means it is Kaishika position. If they are drawing till forehead it is Satvika. Like that 5 vyayas are given. So these are the positions, standing positions, 8 positions. Pratyalida, Alida, Durdurakrama, Garudakrama, Vishaka, Samapada, Asamapada, Padmasana. Next. So again Lakshyam is Thiram. Both the archer and the object is Thira, standing in one place. And if you see Chalam, the archer is stands still, but the Lakshyam is rotating. When you see Chalachalam, the archer is moving and the Lakshyam is still. In Dvayachalam, both the object and the archer are in movement. How to practice? What is important? So one who start aiming using the left arm will master the art of archery easily and quickly. After practicing by both the hands, one can start throwing naracha and reed arrows. Till that you can use only bamboo. The person who becomes a skilled archer, he is able to shoot about 400 arrows per day. One who is able to strike the uppermost target is the best archer, and one who shoots the middle portion is the medium archer, and who is capable of shooting on their feet is the inferior archer. The time duration to learn shooting of arrows is 6 months to 1 year. However, learning of shooting Naracha arrow is possible only with the blessings of Lord Shiva. One who is deciding of becoming a good archer must perform pranayama. Next. So these are the tips for in which position, how if you draw the string, everything is given with a Gopucha arrow, standing in a Vishaka position, holding the bow string in Simha Karna, drawing the bow in the Kaishika position, and use of Samasandhana method without blinking eyes and with the mind fixed on the object, one can become a perfect shooter. Anyway, rigorous practice is required. Yasya Trinasama Banaha, Yasya Indhanasamam Dhanuhu, Yasya Pranasama Maurvi, Sadhanvi Dhanvinam Baraha. So the best archer is he who possesses an arrow as light as the grass, a bow as bright and fierce as fire, and with a string as precious as life. And regarding the war strategy, the few things are mentioned here. Meditation, praying to Lord Shiva, Lord Rudra silently, and prayer to Goddess Haimavati before the commencement of the war is mandatory. Warrior should perform yoga mudras, especially Sarpa mudra, before the commencement of the war. Using Purnaswara helps the warrior to win the universe. Vasishta's Dhanurveda also deals with the major astras. What I have mentioned the astras and the japa, and with japa, how many times he have to practice to excel and the purification of the hymns. Then this is the vyuha arrangement. So only few vyuhas I have taken. Danda vyuha, if the enemy is all around, you have to arrange for Danda vyuha. And Shakata yuga, the apprehension of danger from the backside. And Varaha Garuda vyuha should be made when the danger expected from sideways. And Pipilika vyuha when attacked from front. And other vyuhas of Matsya vyuha, Makara yoga, etc. has been given. Use of medicines. Applications of various pastes made out of plants are prescribed to tackle enemies and armies. The paste of people and apamarda collected in the Hasta Nakshatra Sunday is sure to get victory when smeared on the body. And also the other pushpi, Sanka pushpi, Lajjalu, there are some of the plants. In the same purpose, their root is taken and made it as a paste. And if the warrior applies a mixture of chunchadari, which is a female rat musk, and powdered fruit of wood apple, then the odor produced is sure to pacify even a mad elephant. And you can see that on the positions of Chandra and Surya also, one can predict the result of the war. And the Senadipati can be a person, one who is very good in Akara, Vidya, Bala. Next. What is important here? Yes, this is the last, sir. The knowledge of Swara Shastra is a prerequisite as it involves chanting of mantras with Purna Swara, whereas if it is recited in Apurna Swara, the enemy takes the upper hand. Knowledge of grammar is essential for giving proper commands at war, especially the usage of Madhyama Purusha and Lot Lakara is preferred. Kalajnana, Shakunajnana is must for to understand the time, and one should avoid taking lessons if it happened to see a snake and the bowstring splits when the first arrow is shot. Kshatra Kosha, 7th and 8th chapters of Manu Samhita, Mitakshara, Vishnu Yamala, Vijayakya, a tantric text should be learned in order to master archery. So knowledge of Yoga Mudras is essential. Knowledge of medicinal plants also inevitable. So all these ensure that the learning of Upaveda demands learning of Vedangas and other Shastras as well. Shramena Chitrayoditvam, Shramena Prapyate Jayaha. Dhanyavadaha.
Very nice presentation, ma. Very nice. So next I call upon Dr. S. Madhurambika, Assistant Professor Ithiraj College for Women, Chennai. She will be talking on Kurali.
Namaste, sir. Namaste to all. Kurali, martial art in the light of Shahendra Vilasa. Vinoda or pastime is an amusement which gives enjoyment, happiness, laughter and pleasure. There are many amusements mentioned in the Manasollasa of Someshwara both for common men and royal class. Malla Vinoda or wrestling, Anka Vinoda, Kukkuta Vinoda, etc. were the games of the common man and were prevalent throughout early Indian history. For the royal class, Mrigya Vinoda, Kadga Vinoda, Shena Vinoda, Matsya Vinoda were popular amusements. Among all these, the martial art Kurali is one such pastime. Kurali is the ground or stadium in which the wrestling and other martial arts are practiced or displayed, says the author Someshwara in his Manasollasa, also known as Abhilashi Tartha Chintamani. The work is divided into 5 chapters or Vimshati. This is the only work which gives in one place a connected account of the sports of the king. In the 4th Vimshati of Manasollasa, King Someshwara describes 20 types of Vinoda. The author explains in Shastra Vidya Vinoda that the need for arranging mock fights and drills is to sharpen the skills learnt in the deployment of different kinds of weapons. Kshurika, Kadga, Kodanda, Chakra, Kunta, Gadadishu, Shastreshu, Vividair, Nyasaihi, Krikshitascha, Tijashramaha. Though he narrates in detail the procedure of inviting the audience for witnessing the event and the apparel to be worn by the king, not much information could be gathered about Kurali in Manasollasa excepting a passing reference where it is stated that the monarch should enter the Kurali, accompanied by his attendants in pose, grandeur, radiating chivalry and captivating the audience, where his skill and dexterity in handling the weapons are exhibited. Evam Rachita Shringaro Veeramurti Manoharaha pravishet kuralim ramyam prekshakaihi parishobhitam. According to the commentary of Ratnapana of Kumaraswamy on Prataparudriya of Vidyanatha, Kurali is Malladi Sadhana Shala, a place where wrestling and similar other sports are performed. It is an arena where the monarchs and the princes of the royal family exhibit their skills to the audience. Likewise, in the Kavya, Samrajya Lakshmi Pitika has devoted a separate patala on Kurali Vrata Swarupa Kathanam in chapter 91 with 28 verses. It elaborates that the exercises Shrama Karma should be done in the deployment of weapons by emperors, chieftains and such mortals. A puja has to be performed to the Kurali in the month of Shravana for 3 days commencing from 14th day. Eishta Kaishtit Prakartavyam Kurali Pujanam Priye Nabhomase Chaturdashyam Ārabhi.R Dinatrayam. Apart from these works, the martial art displayed in Kurali is described in detail in Shahendra Vilasa, a historical Mahakavya in 8 sargas on the life of King Shahaji II, the Maratha ruler of Thanjavur, written by Sridhara Venkatesha, popularly known as Ayyawal. In this Mahakavya, the poet highlights as how the Prince Shaha was trained in the martial arts, especially in wrestling and the wielding of weapons. It has been mentioned in verse 28 to 32 of Sarga 2 of Shahendra Vilasa that the young Prince Shaha practiced of martial arts in the Kurali with his fellow mates. It is said that the prince with the whole body smeared with the red mud rejoiced in the practice of martial arts along with his fellow mates as though it was a sport or a game and entertained the onlookers. Kalayan Kuralishu Kelanam Sa Vayobhis Saha Bhupate Sutaha Ruchira Aruna Mridvipa Lopana Janatananda Amandam Atanot. The prince shines like the red rising sun, smearing with red mud and clad with shining garment. Aruna Mridvamahan Adaha Pratinaddena Patena Samvritaha. The prince is described to be holding the sapphire staff in his hand. Balabin Maniyashtihi Aspurate Karakirna Arunam Murti Amuna. In the combat, the Prince Shaha attained victory in every move, but his attitude towards the losing party was very friendly and encouraging. From the Shahendra Vilasa, beautiful description of Kurali and martial arts practiced there is understood. Such references are also found in other Sanskrit kavyas where the prince and the princess were trained in martial arts and displayed the art as amusement. This can be taken up for research. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Thank you. Next, I invite Dr. G. Suresh, Assistant Professor in Sahitya, the Madras Sanskrit College, Chennai, to present his paper on Ayurveda Vishaya Vivechanam. It's a very big topic, so keep it short.
Sree Gurubhyo Namaha Chaturmukha Mukhambhoja Vanahamsa Vadhurmama Manase Ramatam Nityam Sarvashukla Saraswati Samebhyaha Namaskaraha Vidhirye Adyatavat Maya Purvam Chintitam Uktancha Tadvishayaha Ayurveda Vishaya Vivechanamiti eva Sirashakam Maya Dattam Apicha Synopsis Api Preshitam Bhavati Parantu Hyaha Mama topic Kinchit Paranatam Bhavati Sahitya Shastre Ayurveda Vishayaha Iti Sahitya Shastre Kutra Kutta Ayurveda Vishayaha Suchitaha Bhavati Ityaham Bhaktakamosmi Prathamam Tavat Ayurvedaha Iti Patasya Vitpattim Pashyamaha Chet तत्र आयुः अस्मिन् विद्यते इति आयुर्वेदः आहोस्वित् आयुः विन्दति इति आयुर्वेदः अनेन इदं शास्त्रेण एतादृशरीत्या आयुर्वेदः 18 विद्यास्थानेषु अन्यतमः भवति। तादृशविषयं स्वीकृत्य उपजीव्य साहित्ये कवयः अपि च शास्त्रे च कथं तद्विषयं स्वीकृत्य प्रमाणीकृतवन्तः इति वयं पश्यामः। कादम्बरीग्रन्थेपि दृश्यते, रघुवंशेपि आयुर्वेदविषयः दृश्यते, एवं नैषधमहाकाव्येपि भवति, एवं वामनाचार्यकृत काव्यालङ्कारसूत्रवृत्ति इति भवति, तत्रापि आयुर्वेदविषयः शास्त्रग्रन्थे सूचितः भवति। एवं रसगङ्गाधरेपि आयुर्घृतम् आयुरेव इति लक्षणाव्यापारविवेचनविषये तत्रापि सूचितं बहुत्र दृश्यते। परन्तु वयं तत् स्वीकृत्य आयुर्वेदविषयादिकं मनसि एवं निधाय एव कविना प्रकटीकृतः इति वयं पश्यामः। तत्र कादम्बरी बाणभट्टाचार्य कविभिः कृत कादम्बरी ग्रन्थः, तत्र कादम्बरी ग्रन्थे शुकनास उपदेशः इति अन्यतमः भागः भवति। शुकनास उपदेशस्य शुकनासः भवति तस्य मन्त्री तारापीठस्य, चन्द्रापीठस्य उपदेशं करोति। तत्समये कथयति तत्र शुकनास उपदेशः अस्माकं जीवने अवश्यं ध्येयः भवति। तत्र कष्टम् अनञ्जनवर्त्यसाध्यम् अपरम् ऐश्वर्यतिमिरान्धत्वम् इति तत्र एकं गद्यांशः भवति। कष्टम् अनञ्जनवर्त्यसाध्यम् अपरम् ऐश्वर्यतिमिरान्धत्वम्, ऐश्वर्यमेव तिमिरान्धम्, ऐश्वर्येण तिमिरान्धः। अत्र कथं भवति चेत् विवेचनं बहुत्र न क्रियते, समयः अतीव ह्रासः भवति। यौवनं धनसम्पत्तिः प्रभुत्वम् अविवेकिता एकैकमपि अनर्थाय किमु यत्र चतुष्टयम् इति विषयं मनसि निधाय शुकनासः चन्द्रापीठम् उपदिशति। भो चन्द्रापीठ, इदानीं यौवने तिष्ठति, तादृशयौवने तावत् ऐश्वर्यमत्तः अपि भवान् प्रभुः भवति, चन्द्रापीठस्य पुत्रः भवति, अतः ऐश्वर्यप्रधानभूयिष्ठः भवान्। तत्र ऐश्वर्यं तावत् अस्माकं तिमिरान्धत्वम्, ऐश्वर्यमेव तिमिरम्। अत्र तिमिरशब्देन आयुर्वेदविषयः सूचयति। कथं चेत् तिमिराख्यः नयनहेतुः अञ्जनवर्त्या उपशम्यति। तिमिरं नाम एकः रोगः भवति। तद् तिमिरम् इत्युक्ते माधवाचार्यः कथयति, तद् उक्त्वा विवरणं करोमि। तिमिराख्यः सवै दोषः चतुर्थपटलङ्गतः रुणद्धि सर्वतः दृष्टिं लिङ्गनाशमतः परम्। अस्माकं दृष्टिं नाशयति सः तिमिररोगः। परन्तु तिमिररोगेन पीडितं जनं औषधीनामपि स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते, अतः तत् परामर्ष्टुं शक्यते। परन्तु ऐश्वर्यमदेन तिमिररूपेण यः पीडितः तस्य नाशन उपायः कुत्रापि नास्ति इति आयुर्वेदविषयम् उपयुज्य कथयति। अपि च अष्टाङ्गहृदयेपि तत्र तिमिराख्यरोगः अञ्जनवर्त्या उपशम्यति। अत्र तावत् अनञ्जनवर्त्यसाध्यम् इति उक्तम्, अञ्जनवर्त्या साधयितुं न शक्यम् इति उक्तम्। परन्तु अञ्जनवर्त्या साध्यम् इत्युक्ते तत्र कः आश्रयः? आयुर्वेदेव आश्रयः भवति। तत्र आयुर्वेद अष्टाङ्गहृदये वाग्भटाचार्यैः उक्तं भवति, रसेन्द्रभुजगौ तुल्यौ तयोस्तुल्यम् अथाञ्जनम् ईषत् कर्पूरसंयुक्तम् अञ्जनं तिमिरापहम्। तिमिरं नाम व्याधिना यः पीडितः भवति, अंजनम तस्य नाम, तस्य व्याधि उपशमस्य नाम अंजनम इति नाम। कर्पूरं स्वीकृत्य, कर्पूर इत्युक्ते सामान्य कर्पूरं नास्ति, तद् तावत् अतीव हानिकरम्। अत्र विवक्षा तावत् व्याख्याने उक्तं भवति घनसारः, तमिळ्ल पच्चै कर्पूरं सोल्लुम पारुंग, घनसारः तद् उपयुज्य तत्र नेत्रपीडा तिमिरं भवति तद् उपरि एवं तत्र अस्माभिः अप्लै कर्तव्यं, तदा च तिमिररोगः अवश्यं नश्यति। परन्तु ऐश्वर्यमदमत्त तिमिरं तावत् त्वया विद्यते खलु, यस्य विद्यते तस्य ऐश्वर्यमदमत्त तिमिरं दत्तं केनापि अपवार्तुं शक्यते इति तिमिरशब्देन अयं विषयः सूचयति। अपि च अन्यत्र तत्रैव कादम्बरी सुकनास उपदेशे गुरूपदेशः भवति। इत्युक्ते अनारोपितमेधोदोषं गुरूकरणम्। अत्र गुरूकरणं पदस्य अर्थद्वयम्, अत्र वैट्करणम् इत्यर्थः, अपि च अत्यधिकविषयः इति अर्थद्वयं भवति। अनारोपितमेधः, आरोपितमेधः, अनारोपितमेधः गुरूकरणं। यतः अत्र विवक्षा तावत् गुरूपदेशः, गुरूपदेशः अत्यधिकमुख्यः इति प्रसङ्गं स्वीकृत्य तत्र कथयति अनारोपितमेधः, यः गुरुः भवति अत्यधिकम् उपदिशति शिष्यान्, तादृश अत्यधिक उपदेशेन तस्य गुरुत्वम् इत्युक्ते वैट् न आगच्छति। परन्तु अस्माकं भोजनविषये मेदोदोषः भवति. मेदोदोषः इत्युक्ते कोलेस्ट्राल् इति कथयामः खलु. अत्यधिकं वयं भुञ्जीमहे, अत्यधिकं भोजनसमये तद् मेदोदोषः भवति. परन्तु तादृशमेदोदोषः गुरूपदेशे नास्ति इति मेदोदोषविषयादिकं स्वीकृत्य अत्र एवं कथयति. तत्र स्थूलत्वे मेदोदोषः गुरूकरणमिति वाग्भटाचार्येण उक्तं. तद् मेदोदोषपदेन तत् आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे अत्र अवश्यम् अस्माभिः ध्येयः. अपि च नैषधीयमहाकाव्ये श्रीकर्षकविना तृतीयसर्गे 94तमे श्लोके तावत् एवम् उक्तं भवति. त्वया विधेया स गिरो मदर्थाः क्रुधा कदुष्णे हृदि नैषधस्य पित्तेन दूने रसने सितापि तिक्तायते हंसकुलावतंस. नैषधः सन्दर्भः तावत् नलः हंसं प्रेषयति दमयन्तीं प्रति. तत्र हंस सन्देशरूपेण प्रेषयति. तदा सर्वं प्रथमसर्गे द्वितीयसर्गे सर्वं कथितवान्. सर्वं कथयित्वा हे हंस त्वं दमयन्ती सकाशे गच्छ. मया तावत् त्वया साकं भाष्यमानसमये बहुधा मम हृदि विद्यमान क्रोधेन वा आक्रोशेन वा अथवा विरहतापेन वा बहुधा मया समीरितं भवेत्. तत् सर्वं मनसि निधाय तत्र दमयन्ती मम प्रियायाः सकाशे गत्वा त्वया सूच्यते चेत् अहमतीव क्लेशम् अनुभवामि. किमर्थम् इति चेत् त्वया किमर्थं विधेयः मद्गिरः. तत्र उच्यते नैषधस्य हृदि विद्यमान क्रोधेन ईषत्तप्ते सति मत्प्रयोजनाः गिरः न वक्तव्याः. एवम् उच्यते चेत् अहमेव किं भवति, अहं शर्करा तुल्यः अपि अहं तिक्ता स्याम् इति विवक्षा. तत्र उपयुज्यते पित्तेन दूने रसने सितापि. सिता नाम शर्करा, जीनि इत्यर्थः, शुगर् इति कथ्यते खलु. तदा तिक्तायते हंसकुलः. हंसकुलावतंस त्वया उच्यमान समस्त गिरः तिक्तायते. कथं? यदि विपरीततया तया उच्यते चेत् मया मम आशाविरहेण वा अथवा मम शोकपीडितेन वा शोकपीडया वा यत्किमपि अहम् अत्र कविना प्रतिपादितं पित्तेन दूने रसने सितापि एकमेव पित्त शब्दः उपयुक्तः. परन्तु आयुर्वेदरीत्या पश्यामः चेत् पञ्चविधं पित्तं भवति. पाचकं, रञ्जकं, साधकं, आलोचकं, भ्राजकम् इति. तत्र विवरणसमये समयः किञ्चिदेव विवरणं करोमि. सर्वदा समयः नास्ति कथनेन न किमपि प्रयोजनम् इति भाति. त्वचि सर्वशरीरेषु पित्तं निवसति. अस्माकं त्वचि नाम स्किन् मध्ये सर्वशरीरेषु पित्तं निवसति. वातपित्तकफात्मकं अस्माकं शरीरं, तदेव आयुर्वेदे मुख्यं भवति. पाचकं नाम अर्धपक्वेन आगतं पित्तं पाकम्. इदानीं फास्ट् फुड् इति कथयामः खलु. फास्ट् फुड् इति सर्वं कुक्कर्मयं जीवनं, सर्वं फास्ट् फुड् सर्वत्रापि कुर्मः खलु. तत्र समीचीनं पित्तमपि भवति, असमीचीनं पित्तमपि उत्पादयति सः अग्निः. अतः आयुर्वेदे विचारः पित्तसन्दर्भे आगच्छति. पित्तेन अग्निः उत्पादः वा अतः अग्निना पित्तम् उत्पद्यते वा इति उभयोः अन्योन्याश्रयः अपि उक्तं भवति. तद्रीत्या त्वचि सर्वशरीरेषु पित्तं भवति खलु. अतः रञ्जकं नाम यकृत्, ग्याल् ब्लाडर् इति उच्यते खलु. तद् यकृत् इति कथ्यते. तद् यकृत् विषयेपि इदानीं स्मर्यते. नैषधीय प्रथमसर्गेपि यकृत् कालखण्डजम् इति कथयति नलः. कालखण्डजं तत्र चम्पकपुष्पादिकं दृष्ट्वा अदं कालखण्डः. यतः तत्र अन्तभागे भ्रमरः भवति. अस्माकं यकृत् अपि ग्याल् ब्लाडर् अपि अन्तभागे कृष्णवर्णः भवति. तद् दृष्ट्वा अतीव तत् शास्त्ररीत्या तत्रापि प्रतिपादयति. तद् अन्यो विषयः. तत्र पाचक रञ्जकं नाम यकृत् कालखण्डविषये. तत्र ग्याल् ब्लाडर् मध्ये विद्यमान पित्त आधिक्येन कारणेन तद् निष्कासनं करिष्यामः खलु. तद् किं भवति, रञ्जकं नाम पित्तं. साधकं पित्तं भवति. अस्माकं सामान्य भोजने स्वीकरणेन पित्तम् आवश्यकं. पित्तं नास्ति चेत् अस्माकम् अतीव हानिकरं भवति. किमपि कार्यम् अस्माभिः कर्तुं न पार्यते. अपि च अन्यत् तावत् भ्राजकं. भ्राजकं नाम कान्तिकारी पित्तं. कान्तिकारी इत्युक्ते वयं तावत् जपं कुर्मः, उपासनां कुर्मः, अत्यधिक सच्चिन्तनमेव चिन्तयामः, सत्त्वबुद्धौ एव सदा भवामः. तादृशरीत्या एकं पित्तम् उत्पद्यते शरीरे. तत् पित्तं भ्राजकं पित्तं. तदेव कान्तिकारी. अन्यत् कान्ति हारी एतत् कान्ति कारी कान्तिं करोति अस्माकं तेजः ददाति इति रीत्या कथयति परन्तु सामान्यतया उक्त्वा पित्तस्य उपशमनं किं घृतमेव पित्तस्य उपशमनम् इति उक्तं खलु तद्वत् अत्र पित्तशब्दस्वीकरणेन अयं नलः कीदृशपित्तेन पीडितः इत्युक्ते विरहतापे रञ्जकपित्तेन पीडितः विरहतापेन वा अथवा संभोगविषये वा तदा उष्णादिकम् अधिकं शरीरे भवति खलु तादृश उष्णादिकस्य ऊष्मा इति कथ्यते उष्णादिकस्य कारणं तावत् रञ्जकं नाम पित्तं तादृश रञ्जकनाम पित्तेन पीडितः नलः इति कारणादेव पित्तेन दूने रसने सितापि तिक्तायते हंसकुलावतंस
समापयतु
सरि समापयामः अपि च रघुवंशेऽपि भवति एकनिमेषाभ्यन्तरे अवश्यं समापयामि चिन्ता कृपया क्षम्यताम् पञ्चमसर्गे अज अश्ववर्णने तावत् अजस्य अश्वाः लवणं खादन्ति प्रातःकाले आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे न केवलम् अस्माकं प्राणिनां वयमपि प्राणिनः ते अपि प्राणिनः पशवः अपि तेषामपि उपयोगः तत्र आयुर्वेदे दृश्यते तत्र प्रातःकाले पूर्वाह्नकाले च अश्वानां प्रायशः लवणं हितम् अरुचिग्राणि शूलग्नं लवणं सैन्धवं वरं प्रातःकाले अश्वानां लवण आहारं तावत् अतीव शुभगम् इति विषयं स्वीकृत्य रघुवंशे उक्तं भवति एवञ्च वामनालङ्कारे अधिकारिनिरूपण प्रसङ्गे अरोचकिनः सतृणाव्यवहारिणः इति द्वये कवयः इति कथयन्ति तत्र अरोचको नाम कण्ठजिह्वा मध्यस्थ कण्ठहृदय मध्यस्थ विद्यमान व्याधिविशेषः तद् सामान्यतया एकवाक्येन वक्तव्यं चेत् कोरोना एव तत्र किं भवति अरोचकः तत्र जिह्वा न तत् रुचिं उत्पादयति अरोचको नाम भवेद्दोष जिह्वा हृदय संश्रितैः इति वाग्भटाचार्यैः उक्तम् एतादृशरीत्या सर्वत्रापि तद् मूर्छादिकं भवति एवम् अरुचिम् उत्पादयति ग्लानिम् उत्पादयति अतः अस्माकं जीवने आयुर्वेदः अत्यावश्यकः काव्येऽपि एतादृशविषयम् उपयुज्य शरीरमाद्यं खलु धर्मसाधितरीत्या शरीरपोषणस्य आवश्यकम् आयुर्वेदे एव आश्रयः इति उक्त्वा कविभिः एवं सम्यक् कविभिः प्रत्यपादि एतावता उक्त्वा मम सन्दर्भं दत्तवद्भ्यः समेभ्यः आचार्येभ्यः धन्योक्तिं विधाय विरमामि नमस्काराः
धन्यवादः Next I call upon P.V. Praveena, research scholar, Sree Sankaracharya University of Sanskrit, Kalady. She will be presenting a paper on the alchemical essence Ratna and Uparatna in Ayurveda Prakasha. Make it short, ma. Because many people have lost their riches due to alchemy. Therefore,
actually, this is not my subject. It is not my research area. But I desire to know subject. That's why I am choosing this subject.
Okay. You just give us the important aspects of that. Okay, thank you.
In this paper, I have discussed about the therapeutic applications of Ratnas and Uparatnas mentioned in the book Ayurveda Prakasha by Srimad Madhav Ubadhyaya. We know Rasashastra is an ancient discipline within Ayurveda that concentrate on alchemy and the therapeutic applications of metals and minerals. The term Rasashastra literally means the science of mercury. Throughout different eras, numerous texts on Indian alchemy have been composed. Among these, the Ayurveda Prakasha stands out as an important work, offering insights into various dimensions of Rasashastra. Ayurveda Prakasha is not a comprehensive text, but it covers various aspects of Rasashastra, including the purification and incineration of metals and minerals, their therapeutic applications, and the preparation of medicinal formulations. And this paper investigates the impact of Ratna and Uparatna as elucidated in the classical Ayurvedic text Ayurveda Prakasha. And Madhav Ubadhyaya emphasizes from the beginning that this book will focus solely on practical technicalities, excluding any detail he has not personally encountered. And in addition to his personal experience, he has also referred practical procedures from well-known texts such as Rasa Raja Lakshmi, Rasa Padhati, Rasa Ratna Samuchaya, etc. The Ayurveda Prakasha, authored by Acharya Madhu Upadhyaya in the 17th century, consists of 14 chapters. In the 13th chapter, the author provides a description of Ratna and Tuparatna. And this chapter discusses on the therapeutic applications of these precious stones, emphasizing their significance in traditional Indian medicine. And when come to Ayurveda Prakasha, he mentioned the Ratnas are Vajram Vidruma Mauktige, Maraktam Vaidurya Gomedage, Manikyam Harinila Pushpadusho, Ratnani Namna Nava Iva. And Vajram, Vidruma, Mauktigam, Maraktam, Vaiduryam, Gomeda, Manikya are the Navaratnas he mentioned. Actually, he took it from the Rasa Padhati. The purification and incineration of gemstones are essential process described in Ayurveda Prakasha. These methods are crucial to eliminate impurities and enhance the therapeutic properties of the stones. For instance, rubies are purified using a mixture of cow's urine, honey, ghee and triphala. And I tabulated it in a table that a name and Shodhana Dravya and its in which disease is used to cure. Manikya is purified using Amla Dravya and it used to cure Vada, Kabha and Kshaya Roga, etc. And Mukta is used to purify Jayandya and it is...
You are talking about that Mani Mantra Aushadha.
Yes.
How money cures diseases.
Yes, money cures disease.
Okay, yes. Okay. But I thought that you will be talking about alchemy.
No,
Rasavada.
Ratna and Tuparatna, I told it in the abstract.
Okay, right.
And Pravar is used to purify, it is purified using Shara Vargena and it cures Rekta, Pitta and Kshaya, etc. I'm not saying all the gems. And when it comes to Bharatna, it is subgems are considered secondary to the primary 9 gemstones but still holds significant therapeutic value. They are slightly lower than Ratnas in their hardness, luster, transparency and gunas. When a particular Ratna is not available, then these Ratnas are used which are having nearly similar properties like Ratnas. It is mentioned like Ratnadinam alabhetu grahyam tasyo Bharatnagam Mauktigasyapya bhavitu mukta shukti prayojayet. These include Vaikranda, Suryakandascha, Chandrakandas Tadhevacha, Rajavato Lalasapnya, Pirojakyas Tadapara. In Ayurveda Prakasha, he detailed the Vaikranta in more, but other Uparatnas are talking about, lightly talked. It never detailed. Its detailed description can't find in the text. Ayurveda Prakasha by Srimad Madhu Upadhyaya offers profound insights into the use of Ratna and Tuparatna in Ayurvedic medicine. The description of their purification, preparation and therapeutic applications highlight the sophisticated understanding and the integration of natural elements in ancient Indian healthcare practices. This knowledge continues to be relevant, providing valuable guidance for contemporary Ayurvedic practitioners and enthusiasts. However, many of the claims and treatments described in the text lack scientific validation and empirical evidence. Modern medicine requires rigorous testing and clinical trials to confirm the efficiency and safety of treatments, which are often not present in ancient texts. That's it for me.
Okay, ma. Thank you. Next, I call upon Dr. N. Sridhar, Associate Professor, S. Vyasa, deemed to be University. So he is going to present a paper on study of Rigvidhanam, a treatise for Vedic therapy based on Yajna and Mantra. Sir, it is already 4:20, therefore please take 10 minutes, not more than that. Rigvidhanam.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So my paper is the study of Rigvidhanam, a treatise on Vedic therapy. So I am going quickly into the session. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So first of all, in Yasvyasa, we are doing some researches on the Vedic therapy. We are conducting some courses for Vedic therapy, where we are trying to give the patients some treatments with the mantra and homa. So it is my, I am trying to present the Rigvidhanam, where many other such aspects have been discussed, but I am here presenting specially on the mantra and the Yajna Chikitsa. So normally what means Vedic therapy is a vast, we can take all the Ayurveda and all the therapies, all the systems which are based on Vedic philosophy, we can take it as a Vedic therapy, but here for the research we are limiting it till Homa, Vrata, Mantra Japa and Mantra Chikitsa. So under the Daiva Vipashaya Chikitsa in Ayurveda, we are having this mantra and Homa Chikitsa, where mantra, Aushadhi, Mani, Mangala, Bali, Upahara, Homa, Niyama, Prayashchitta, Upavasa, Swasthi, Ayana, Pranipata, Gamana. So these are the Daiva Vipashaya Chikitsa in Ayurveda. So other two are the Yukti Vipashaya Chikitsa and Sattvavajaya Chikitsa. So when we come to the Vidhana Grantham, when we check the where we can get the mantra chikitsa in Ayurveda, especially in the Jwara for the Jwara, for the Garbhadanam, Pumsavanam, Atisara, Kushta. So for specific some diseases, they are recommending the mantra chikitsa and the homa chikitsa. But there are very rare texts which are especially speaking on the mantra and homa chikitsa. So some of the texts are Rigvidhanam, Yajurvidhanam, Samavidhana Brahmanam, Karma Vipaka Samhita and Veerasimhavalokanam or Balakumara Samhita. So these are some texts which are especially speaking on the Homa Chikitsa and the Mantra Chikitsa. So coming to the Vidhana text, so Vidhana literature, if we see each and every, apart from the Atharva Veda, we are having Vidhana text for all the three Vedas, Rigvidhanam, Shukla Yajurvidhanam and Samavidhana Brahmanam. Though Samavidhana Brahmanam is a part of Brahmana, but the content what they are in that particular text, it is not of the Brahmana, what the other Brahmanas are dealing with. There they deals with the Roga Nivaranam. So normally these Vidhana texts, they deals with the Dosha Papa Parihara in the Purva Janma Krita Doshaha. What are the dosha? If we have done Brahmahatya, then you will be suffering from such and such problem in this Janma. So such a many type of papas and their remedies have been discussed through the mantra and the homa in the Vidhana text. Also the Mangala Praptihi. So if we see the homa, the Vidhana text, we can see how we can get the Aishwaryam, the Ragadvesha Nivrittihi, and all the Mangala Praptihi are also discussed into what are the homas to be done, what are the mantras to be chanted, what are suktams to be chanted for these. And with this we can have also the Roga Nivaranam, because of, means in some of the text we can see because of the such and such papa in the Purva Janma, you are suffering due to with this particular disease. So you have to do this particular homa and this particular mantra japa. So coming to the Rigvidhanam, Rigvidhanam is authored by Shaunaka Maharishi, and it has 483 to 485 shlokas. Somewhere we are getting 485 shlokas, somewhere it is 483, and mostly it is in the Anushtup Chandas. And here we can see in the Rigvidhanam, the Shaunaka Maharishi is not stating the name of the Sukta. For example, he is not stating Agni Suktam or Vishnu Suktam or Rudra. He is just giving the first 2 or 3 words of the Suktam, and he is saying such and such. If the Sukta starting with this particular mantra, you should do this japa or this homa. And also he is recommending the number of times you should do the japa, the avritti. Somewhere Trayutam, somewhere Dasha, somewhere Shatam. So 100, 10,000, somewhere it is how many times in a day. So the number of times the mantra should be chanted, the japa should be done, and along with the homa, he is recommending the number of times and where it should be chanted. Somewhere he is recommending the place. You should chant in the nadi or a jale or in the water, on the water body, or you should do the japa, you should do the homa in the Vishnu Mandiram or in the Vishivalayam. So he is also not in all the places, but in some places he is also pointing the place that where you should do this particular japa or homa. And also in some places also denoting the tithi or the vara, masa, or somewhere he's saying in the Magha Masa you should do, somewhere it should be in the Phalguni Nakshatram, or somewhere it should be in the Angaraka Dinam on the Mangala Vasara. So he is also giving for some particular suttas or some particular japa and homa. Shaunaka Maharshi in Rigvedam is also giving the time and day and month for that particular japa. So these are the prashchitta vishaya contents what we can see in the Rigvedanam. Brahmahatya, if you have a surapi, if you are addicted to alcohol, or if you have done the suvarnastheya, the theft of the gold, or other patakas, mahapataka, sarvapataka, abhaksha bhakshanam, and dosha prashchitta, all type of dosha prashchittams. And he is also saying if you have mistaken knowingly or unknowingly, if you have eaten something in the outside, in the different places, whether you have eaten in the Kshatriya's house, or you have eaten some food in the during the Shraddham, or if you have eating the Shraddha Bhojana continuously for some period. So he is also giving some prashchitta homa, prashchitta japa for this. And these are the Mangala Prapti, like Karya Siddhi. What are the japas and homa should be done, Anna Prapti to get the Annam food, for the Hiranya Prapti, Vastra Prapti to get the clothes, to get the Dhanyam, to get the Vak Siddhi, Pitri Preeti. If you have mistakenly have skipped the Shraddham, then what you should do. Then other Siddhis, Animadi Siddhi, and even he is going till the Brahmajnanam. For getting the Brahmajnanam, what type of homas and mantras should be chanted. So these are the some of the Roga Nivaranam, Manashuddhi, even for the Manasika Chikitsa. So like this. So for Manasika Chikitsa, he is giving some Manashuddhi, Dukkha Nashaha. Now we can see that normally what are the stress we are having in the modern days, or some type of tension that we are having. So all these can be covered in the Manashuddhi and Dukkha Nasha. For Manashuddhi and for Dukkha Nasha, there are certain suktas he is recommending. So shall I go fast? Okay. So Adhinashaha, again Bhayanashaha, all these are related with the Manasika Roga. Krodhanasha, Abuddhinashaha, and Bhranti Buddhinashaha, where you have confusion, all other things. Durbuddhinashaha, and commonly a common Vyadhinashaha. If you do the Gayatri Homa or Gayatri Japam, then all types of Vyadhi would go away. Then Stambhanadikrita doshaha, due to the Vajikaranam by some other enemies and all these things. We can see in the armies it is usually usually done in the olden days during the war. Then Madanashaha, the addiction, how to recover from the addiction. Shiroroga nivrittihi, headache. Ayurvriddhihi, generally how to get a good life. Kukshashulam, apasmaraha. Then Kshayadi Vyadhinashaha, Mutra Roga Nashaha, Vata Roga Nashaha, rogas due to the other three doshas, Tapadi Vyadhinashaha, Shita Jwaraha, Nushna Jwaraha, Kaya Shula Nivaranam, then Agni Dosha Nivaranam, Visha Nivaranam from the Agada, how to get the Visha Nivaranam, get the recovery from the poison. Then the diseases of the eyes, Chakshur Roga Nivaranam, Bhagandara Roga Nashaha, the disease happening in our Apana Desha or the private parts. So these are some of the japas and homas that in Rigvedhanam they are the Shaunaka Maharshi recommending for us. Yes, sir. Yes, but I have not taken it in the modern context, so I have not taken it. So I am giving some of the examples what in the previous week in our university we have done a research on the Rudra Maha Homa, where the 44 the Yajna, Vedic Pandits, they chanted the Rudra Homa. So it is a REG, random event generator. So you can see there is these three lines. So the frequency between this and this, it's a normal frequency. So when there is a breach in the frequency, either it will go up or either it will comes down. So like this. So you can see in the last part, the frequencies have come down below the frequency. and the previous one we can see it has gone above the normal frequency. So both are good for the therapy part. Even the frequency going above the normal and the frequency going below the normal, both are good for the therapy. So the frequency going above, it is called stimulating of the particles, and below the frequency it is the calmness. It's not because of the silence in the atmosphere, but because of some other reasons, because of the vibration that we are getting from the mantras. It denotes the silence. The frequency below the normalcy denotes the silence. The calmness in the atmosphere. So normal, even if we are speaking like this, it will the REG will catch it in a normal frequency. It is only due to the mantra it has went above the frequency and below the frequency, below the normalcy. Yes. No, not that, sir. Not Anudata. Even so, I will just. Sorry. So here you can see when they were chanting, it has gone above the frequency, and after this the completion, the Agna Vishnu Sajoshima, this completion of the Chamakam, sorry. So you can see here, it is going below the normal frequency. So it is, even when we are chanting the mantra, it is going below the normal frequency, which is meaning it is calm. The atmosphere is calm. It is not because of the noise or the silence in the atmosphere, but because of the mantra. Either the atmosphere will show, the frequency will show it is calm, or it will show that it is stimulating the high. So for the particular diseases, we need different type of frequency. Either we need a calm frequency, or either we need a stimulating frequency. So it can be that particular frequency can be brought by the mantra chanting or the japa of the mantra, or through the homa. So this is how we have recorded this, and now we are doing the post data analysis. Now the post data analysis is going on, so I am not unable to show the data here. So the patients who were sitting during this puja were the patients of the diabetes and the hypertension. So it is a conclusion. That's just another thing, the Sanskrit effect. I hope we all know about that. Dr. James Hartzell. So we can see those who are chanting, those who are practicing the Vedas for a longer time, since for more than 10, 12 or 15 years, we can see their increase in the brain size than there is a huge brain than the other normal people. And also we can see the bigger hippocampus, which is very much which is necessary for our memory. So those who are having increased hippocampus, or those who have a bigger brain, so they have a very good memory. So these are the photos of the those pandits, those who have chanted, those who are practicing Vedas for a long time. And these the memory is for the long time. It's not for the temporary brain changes. It's a permanent brain change. It's not a change, it remains as longer compared to other normal people. So my conclusion is that through the Vedic, through this mantra and homa, we can also treat people. It can also be considered as an alternative therapy treatment, along with the aushadhis, along with the yoga therapy, along with the yogas, along with the modern medicine, or along with the Ayurveda medicine. Ayurveda says in the Janapada Dvamsa that whenever there is a seasonal change, along with the aushadhi, people should take the mantra chikitsa and the homa chikitsa. Dhanyavadaha.
Excellent presentation, sir. Okay, sir, thank you. I request Mr. Ambarish Das, Ph.D. Research Scholar, Pondicherry University. He will be presenting a paper on Ayurveda Drishtiya Ahara Shuddhikaranam. Please keep it brief.
अत्र उपस्थितेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः गुरुवर्येभ्यः नमांसि। मम शोधप्रबन्धस्य नाम आयुर्वेददृष्ट्या आहारशुद्धिकरणम्। आयुर्वेदः इति शब्दस्य अर्थं जीवनस्य ज्ञानम्। आयुर्वेदो इति बोधयति इति आयुर्वेदः, अर्थात् आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे जीवनस्य ज्ञानं लभ्यते। मानवस्य स्वस्थजीवनस्य उत्तममार्गम् आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे उपलभ्यते। दैनन्दिन जीवने मानवानां स्वस्थशरीरस्य कारणात् आहारं प्रयोजनम्। आहारं विना शरीरं कदापि न सुखं भवति। कुमारसम्भव काव्ये कालिदासेन उक्तं शरीरं आद्यं खलु धर्मं साधनम्। अपि च चरकसंहितायाम् उक्तं हित अहितं सुखं दुःखम् आयुः तस्य हित अहितं मानं च तच्च यत्र उक्तम् आयुर्वेदः स उच्यते। आहारस्य कारणात् जीव जीवित भवति। आहारं विना संसारे अस्मिन् जीवानां अस्तित्वं न सन्ति। मानवस्य वृक्षस्य च प्रथमं प्रयोजनं खलु भोजनं। जीवः शुद्ध भोजनेन शरीरस्य मध्ये शक्तिः सञ्चयति। दैनन्दिन जीवनयापनाय आहार अतीव आवश्यकः। छान्दोग्य उपनिषदे वर्णितम् आहार शुद्धौ सत्त्वशुद्धि, सत्त्वशुद्धौ ध्रुवा स्मृतिः, स्मृतिलभ्ये सर्वग्रन्थीनां विप्रमोक्षः। आहारस्य शुद्धिम् आवश्यकम्। अस्मात् कारणात् जीवस्य अन्तःकरणं बाह्यकरणं च शुद्धिं भवेताम्। संस्कृतसाहित्ये आहार इति शब्दस्य बहुविध अर्थाः व्युत्पन्नः सन्ति। पाणिनि मतानुसारम् आङ् हि हरो धातोः घ प्रत्ययेन आहार शब्द निष्पद्यते। आहार इति शब्दस्य अर्थं भोजनं। भोजनं विना मनुष्य शरीरं न कार्यं करोति। आह्रियते शरीरम् अनेन इति आहारः। अर्थात् जीवन धारण अर्थे मानवः यस्य ग्रहणं कर्तुं स तु आहारः। जगति अस्मिन् भोजनमिति अर्थे आहार इति गृहीतः। योगदर्शने पतञ्जलिना उक्तम् अभक्षयो निवृत्त्या तु विशुद्धं हृदयं भवेत्। आहार शुद्धि उचितस्य त्रिशुद्धिः भवति स्वतः। अर्थात् अभक्षयो आहार परित्यज्य अन्तःकरणानां शुद्धिं भवेयुः। अतः मानवस्य प्रधान कर्तव्यः शुद्ध आहारस्य भक्षणम्। यदि आहारस्य शुद्धिं भवति तर्हि चित्तशुद्धिं भवति। योगदर्शनस्य अनुसारं भोजनं तु द्विविधं यथा उत्ताहार मिताहारश्चेति। अस्मिन् विषये निगदति अति आहार प्रज्वल्यः च प्रयास नियमग्रह जनसंगः च लौल्यं षडभियोगः विनिश्यति। अति भोजनं न करणीयम्। मानवानां कर्तव्याः नियमपूर्वक भोजनं कुर्वन्ति। विषये अस्मिन् संहितायाम् उक्तम् मित आहारं विना जस्तु योग आरम्भं तु कारयेत् नाना रोगो भवेत् तस्य किञ्चित् योग न सिद्ध्यति। आयुर्वेदे आहारः आयुर्वेद अनुसारं पंचभौतिकारेभ्यः शरीरं पोषयति। सुश्रुत संहितायाम् उक्तं पंचभूत आत्मकम् एक देहे हि आहार पांचभौतिकः। अर्थात् पंचभूतेभ्यः निर्मितानि शरीरम् इति उच्यते। तस्य शरीरस्य भोजनार्थम् आहार तु पंचविध यथा भक्षम। मानवः जो तरल पदार्थ पिबति तत्तु भक्षम भोज्यम। मानवाः तै दन्तैः यद् भोजनं कुर्वन्ति तत्तु भक्षम। अन्नं रोटिका चेति। लेज्झं तु घृतादि। चोष्यं तु गणादि। पेयं जलं पिबति जलं तु पेयम् इति उच्यते। चरकाचार्यस्य मतानुसारं वातपित्त कफानां अनन्तरं मनुष्य शरीरे भोजनं तु मुख्यं। सप्तधातुभिः निर्मितं शरीरम् इदं भवति। मानव शरीरे भोजनात् अनन्तरं रसः उत्पन्न भवति। आहारस्य भोजन विधि सर्वानां प्राणिनां मूलं तु आहारः। अर्थात् आहारस्य शुद्धिकरणं प्रथमं प्रयोजनम्। आहार सेवने उदरस्य मध्ये त्रिविध भागं प्रयोजनम्। प्रथम भागे भोजनेन परिपूर्ण भवति। द्वितीय भागे क्षीरादि पदार्थेन पूर्ण भवति। अन्तिम भागे वातपित्त कफादयेभ्यः रिक्तं भवन्ति। विषयोऽस्मिन् श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतायाम् उक्तं युक्त आहार विहारस्य युक्त चेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्त स्वप्न अवबोधस्य योगे भवति दुःखः। यथार्थ आहार विहार शयनं च इति मानवानां करणीयः। आहार तु त्रिविधं श्रीमद्गीता अनुसारं सात्विक राजसिक तामसिक भेदात्। मानवानां कृते सात्विक आहार सदा सुखं अनुभवन्ति। सात्विक आहारेण मानवस्य बुद्धि सुखं आरोग्यं चेति स्वस्थं भवति मानवस्य दुःखं राजसिक आहारेण उत्पद्यते यथा कोटुः अम्लः लवणः उष्णं तीक्ष्णं रुक्ष्मम् इत्यादयः राजसिक आहारः सन्ति रसरहितं दुर्गन्धयुक्तम् उच्छिष्टं चेति
भवांसु आहार शुद्धिकरणं कथं कर्तव्यं तदेव भवतः
आम् आहारं शुद्धिकरणं कथं करणीयम् अस्मिन् कारणे अहं कथम् आहार ग्रहणीयं स अहं वदामि मने वदिष्यामि
भोजनं तु वयं जानीमः परन्तु आहार शुद्धिकरणं कथं कर्तव्यम् इति भवान्
आहार शुद्धिं समय अनुसारम् आहारं कर्तव्यं
समयाभावात् अहं पृच्छामि
ओके विविधकाले आहारः आयुर्वेदे विविधानां ऋतूनां समये कस्य आहारस्य ग्रहणं कर्तव्यं तद्विषये आलोच्यते षड् ऋतवः सन्ति ग्रीष्मः वर्षा शरद हेमन्तः शिशिर वसन्तश्चेति ग्रीष्मकालः नारंगम दाक्षाफलम कालिंगम खरबूजम अलाभुः दधि निम्बकेन शाकं जलं मिश्रितं नारिकेलस्य जलं च इत्यादयः सेवनेन मानव शरीरे वात पित्त कफश्चेति दोषाः साम्य अवस्थायां तिष्ठति अतः मानवदेहे शारीरिक बलं वृद्धि भवति अस्मिन् समये बहूनि गृहाणि शीतलीकरणयन्त्रं सन्ति इदं शीतलीकरणयन्त्रम् आङ्ग्लभाषायां फ्रिज इति उच्यते साम्प्रतिकाले भोजनस्य रक्षणार्थम् अस्य शीतकस्य उपभोगः क्रियते परन्तु पुरातनकाले एतेषां शीतकानां स्थाने मृद्घटानाम् उपयोगः क्रियते स्म वर्षाकाल मध्ये अलाभुः रक्तफलं जालिनी कदली सेबं दाण्डिमं राजजम्बुः पक्वमक्का आम्लेन सह दुग्धं मिश्रित रसः इत्यादीनि भोजनानि मनुष्य शरीरे प्रयोजनानि सन्ति अग्निना पाचयति अन्नस्य भोजनम् आवश्यकम् अस्मात् कारणात् मानव शरीरे कफ पित्त दोषस्येति समानेव वर्तते शरत्कालः वर्षाकालस्य अनन्तरं शरत्कालः आगच्छति शरत्कालः आश्विन कार्तिक मासोदयं तिष्ठतः कालेऽस्मिन् ओदनं मुद्गः पलका मूलिका इत्यादीनि भोजनानि प्रयोजनानि सन्ति तिक्तपदार्थेन सह घृतं भोजनेन मानव शरीरे पित्तदोषः साम्य अवस्थायां तिष्ठति काले अस्मिन् जलं खलु पवित्रमिति दृश्यते अस्मिन् काले सूर्यस्य किरणात् जलं उष्णं भवति रात्रौ चन्द्रस्य किरणात् जलं शीतलं भवति अत्र जलं खलु अमृतम् एव हेमन्तकालः काले अस्मिन् शीतलवायुः अधिकमात्रायाः प्रवाहितः अस्मात् कारणात् मानव शरीरे अस्वाभाविकरूपेण जठरग्नेः तीव्रता दृश्यते विषयोऽस्मिन् चरकसंहितायां उक्तं स यदा न इन्धनं युक्तं लभते देहजं तदा रसं हिनस्ति अतो वायुः शीतः शीते प्रकुप्यते काले अस्मिन् मानवस्य शरीरे जठरग्नि प्रकोपः दृश्यते अस्मात् कारणात् घृतं तैलं अम्लरसः लवणरसयुक्त भोजनं मत्स्य कूर्मः वराह इत्यादि भोजनानि भवेयुः शिशिरकालः आर्द्रकस्य अवलेह अम्लकस्य मुरब्बा तिलः गुडः नारिकेलः खज्जूरं हिंग घृतं इत्यादीनि भोजनानि मानवस्य सेवनम् अतीव आवश्यकम् काले अस्मिन् जठरग्नि तीव्रं भवति अस्मात् कारणात् रात्रिकाले चनकं जले सिक्त्वा प्रातःकाले सेवनं कृत्वा मानव शरीरे उपकृतं भविष्यति वसन्तकालः काले अस्मिन् शुष्ककोटुरसः सेवनीयः मधुमिश्रितजलं पिबेत् लघु सुपाच्य च इति भोजनं भक्षयेत् ओदनं चनकः रोटिका इत्यादि भोजनं करणीयः कृष्णमृगस्य शुक्लभियोगस्य च मांसं भक्षयेत् कार्बेल्लं अद्रकं लसुनं पलका कदली मूलिका निम्बपत्रम ऋतुफलम इत्यादीनि भोजनानि भवेयुः
समापयतु
उपसंहति मानवस्य जीवनधारणाय प्रधान कर्तव्यं भवति आहार सेवनम् आहारं विना मानव सक्रिय न भवितुम् अर्हति युक्त आहार विहार दिनैव जीवनं सुस्थं भवेत् चरक संहितायां उक्तं हित आहार उपयोगो एको एव पुरुष वृद्धिकरो भवति अहित आहार उपयोगो पुनर्व्याधि नाम वातपित्त कफानां विषयानां उपरि दृष्ट्वा मानवस्य भोजनं ग्रहणीयम् एतस्मात् कारणात् मानव जीवने आयुर्वेद अनुसारं बहूनि फलानि बहूनि भोजनानि प्रयोजनानि सन्ति मानव यदि खाद्य अभ्यासस्य परिवर्तनं करोति तर्हि मानव देहस्य उपकृतं भवेत् धन्यवादः
Next, Sunita Behera, Research Scholar, Pondicherry University, Department of Sanskrit, Puducherry. Ayurveda Drishtya Snanasya Mahatvam.
सर्वेभ्यो नमो नमः। मम विषयः आयुर्वेददृष्ट्या स्नानस्य महत्त्वं। संस्कृतसाहित्यस्य सर्वप्रथमः ग्रन्थः खलु वेदः। वेदानां मध्ये प्राचीनतमः वेदः तु ऋग्वेदः। पुनः ऋग्वेदस्य उपवेदः आयुर्वेदः इति। परन्तु आयुर्वेद आचार्य स्वीक्रियन्ते अथर्ववेदस्य उपवेदः तु आयुर्वेदः। प्राचीनकालात् एव वर्तमानकालात् पर्यन्तं मानवजीवने आयुर्वेदस्य प्राधान्यं दृश्यते। आयुर्वेदशास्त्रं न केवलं चिकित्साविषये वर्णितम् अस्ति, अपि तु मानवजीवनस्य कथं स्वस्थं भवेत् तद्विषये अपि आलोच्यते। अतः प्रतिदिनं मानवानां बहुविधानि नित्यकर्माणि कृतवन्तः। तेषां मध्ये स्नानम् एव नित्यकर्म भवति। स्नानस्य माध्यमेन मानवशरीरं शुद्धं भवति। एतस्मात् कारणात् मानवस्य प्रतिदिनं स्नानं करणीयम्। स्नानस्य महत्त्वं। स्नानं न केवलं फेनकेन सह जलादि शरीरस्य प्रक्षालनं भवति, अपि तु आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे अस्य विषये बहु नियमाः सन्ति। विषये अस्मिन् आयुर्वेदिकपाठ्यपुस्तकेषु दिनचर्यायाः व्याख्याः संक्षेपेण वर्णिताः। जनाः व्यक्तिगतजीवने स्वच्छता निर्वापयितुं स्नानं कुर्वन्ति। अस्मात् कारणात् अस्माकं शरीरं मनः आत्मा चेति शुद्धिं भवन्ति। आयुर्वेदशास्त्रानुसारं स्नानस्य प्रकारः, विधि, परिमाणः, आवृत्तिमन्त्रः, लाभः, हानिः, कालः, गुणः इत्यादिः सम्यक् रूपेण व्याख्याः सन्ति। स्नानस्य गुणः आयुर्वेदसाहित्यदृष्ट्या स्नानस्य बहुगुणः विद्यते, यथा गुणादश स्नानशीलं भजन्ते, बलं रूपं स्वरवर्णं प्रशुद्धिः, स्पर्शश्च गन्धश्च विशुद्धता च, श्रीः सौकुमार्य प्रवरता नार्यः। स्नानेन मानविकशरीरस्य बहुविधः उपकारः उपलभ्यन्ते, यथा शारीरकबलं, रूपं, मधुरस्वरः, सुस्पष्ट अक्षरव्याप्ति, सुखदर्श स्पर्शः, सुगन्ध, पवित्रता, ऐश्वर्य, सुकुमार श्रेष्ठता च प्राप्नुवन्ति। विषये अस्मिन् चाणक्येन उक्तं, स्नानं नाम मनः प्रसादजननं, दुःस्वप्न विध्वसनं, शौचस्य अयम्ननं, मलापरणं, सर्वधनं तेजसः, रूपद्योतकरं, रिपुप्रमथनं, कामाग्निसन्दीपनं, नारीणां च मनोहरं, श्रमहरं स्नाने दशैति गुणाः। स्नानमाध्यमेन मनुष्यशरीरे बहुविधः गुणः दृश्यते, यथा मानसिक दुःस्वप्न आदि, मलदूरीकरणं, तेजोवर्धनं, रूपवर्धनं, शत्रुसंहार, कामाग्नि उद्दीपनं, श्रमहरं च उत्पादयति गुणाः सन्ति। स्नानस्य प्रकाराः। वैदिकसाहित्येषु पौराणिकसाहित्येषु च स्नानस्य अनेके भेदाः सन्ति, यथा ब्रह्मस्नानं, मुनिस्नानं, देवस्नानं, मानवस्नानं, राक्षसस्नानं, वरुणस्नानं, मन्त्रस्नानं, दिव्यस्नानं, क्रियास्नानं, अग्नेयस्नानं, वायव्यस्नानं, प्रेक्षणस्नानं, गौणस्नानं, कपिलस्नानं, नित्यस्नानं, नैमित्तिकस्नानं, मलहर्षस्नानं, क्रियाङ्गस्नानं, काम्यस्नानं तथा महेन्द्रस्नानम् इत्यादयः। दक्षस्मृत्यानुसारं स्नानं तु त्रिविधं, नित्य, नैमित्तिक, काम्यस्नानम् इत्यादयः। पराशरस्मृत्यानुसारं स्नानं तु षड्विधः, यथा वरुणस्नानं, अग्नेयस्नानं, मन्त्रस्नानं, मनसस्नानं, वायव्यस्नानं, महेन्द्रस्नानम् इत्यादयः। तथैव शङ्खस्मृत्यानुसारं स्नानं षड्विधः, यथा नित्यस्नानं, नैमित्तिकस्नानं, काम्यस्नानं, क्रियाङ्गस्नानं, मलकर्षणस्नानं, क्रियाङ्गस्नानम् इत्यादि। यथा पुनः याज्ञवल्क्यस्मृत्यानुसारं स्नानस्य सप्तभेदः परिलक्ष्यते, यथा मन्त्रः भौमः तथाग्नेयं, वायव्यं दिव्य एव च, वारुणं मानवश्चैव, सप्तस्नानम् अन्यत् क्रमात्। यथा मन्त्रस्नानं, वेदादिमन्त्र उच्चारणं कृत्वा मानव स्नानं करोति, तत् मन्त्रस्नानम् इति उच्यते। भौमस्नानं, स्नानस्य पूर्वं शरीरे मृत्तिकालेपनं क्रियते, तदनन्तरं स्नानं करोति, तत्तु मृत्तिकास्नानं वा भौमस्नानम् इति उच्यते। आग्नेयस्नानं, स्नानस्य पूर्वं शरीरे भस्मलेपनं करोति, यत् भस्म दग्धगोमयात् निर्मितः भवति, तत् आग्नेयस्नानम् इत्युच्यते। वायव्यस्नानं यदा गावः चलन्ति तदा तस्य खुरास्पर्शेन यत् रजत् उड्डयति तेन रजसः यत् स्नानं भवति तत्तु वायवस्नानम् इत्युच्यते। दिव्यस्नानं सूर्यकिरणे अथवा वर्षाकाले सूर्यस्य कान्तौ यत् स्नानं भविष्यति तत्तु दिव्यस्नानम् इत्युच्यते। वरुणस्नानं
सुनीता भगिनी समापयतु।
वरुणस्नानं नद्या जले क्रियमाणं स्नानं वरुणस्नानं। मानवस्नानं परमात्मा विषये चिन्तनं कृत्वा शुद्ध मनसि यत् स्नानं क्रियते तत्तु मनसा स्नानम्। एतत्तु बहु लम्बः अस्ति, अहं निगमनं वदामि। आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे मानवस्य स्वास्थ्यरक्षणार्थं बहु नियमाः दृश्यन्ते। तस्य नियमस्य मध्ये स्नानकर्म अन्यतमः। प्रतिदिनस्नानेन जीवस्य रोगं दूरीकरणं भवति। अत्र स्नानं कथं करणीयं, कदा करणीयं, किमर्थं करणीयं यद्विषये आयुर्वेदशास्त्रे विद्यते। अतः आयुर्वेदशास्त्रं पठनीयः। धन्यवादः।
Thank you. Pavitrikirtaah vayam. Okay, so all the papers presented, they were all very nice. So therefore, I thank all of them. I thank you, all of them.
Thank you very much, sir. We are coming to the end of the two-day national seminar. I thank the endowment makers of this session, Sri S. Ramachandra Iyer, T.V. Nagaraja Iyer, Srimati Bhagirathi Ammal, and Dr. S. JAYASREE Memorial Endowment Makers, and the chairperson. Thank you.